on a tiny little island surrounded by a vast stretch of seawater. This handsome young man, cool as hell in the dumbest way possible, is named Duong Van. 10 years ago, he was captured and imprisoned by a pack of filthy Jianghu thugs on the mountain of this island, all because he had a naturally hard-working spirit and tireless diligence. During that time, he trained nonstop to make himself as strong as possible. It had already been 10 years since he had tasted the joys of modern life. Today was the day he finally could not take it anymore. He was determined to break out of the island and return to modern society, when suddenly a thunderous explosion rang out. At this moment, our Duong Van leaped around like Sun Wukong, fresh out from under Five Elements Mountain. He turned back, smiled gleefully, and said, "You damned old bastards. You wanted to lock me up? Then if you all die, you deserve it." After that, he ran across the surface of the water as fast as lightning. Seriously unreal. At this moment, in the commercial district of Huaman City, things were now very different from 10 years ago when he had been captured. Lots of full, curvy beauties were showing off their figures on the street, making for quite the eye candy. Our Duong Van stood on a rooftop, admiring the view with great delight. "Huaman, I have returned." Then the young man used lightness, skill, and leaped straight down. His outfit could honestly be called the most rustic, outdated look in the entire city. Suddenly, Duong Van's stomach growled loudly. "Man, I am starving. It took me a whole week to run back to China, and I don't even have a single bit of money on me. If I hadn't relied on my ability to endure hunger, I probably would have starved to death long ago. Right now, I need to figure out a way to get food. That's right, I can apply to be a chef. My cooking skills aren't bad either. Those bastards back then always made me cook for them." After that, he walked over to a small restaurant. Looking inside, there were two thugs with purple and green hair standing guard at the entrance. "Can I apply for a job here?" Suddenly, inside, a fat bastard was pressing a girl down on the table, intending to do something vile. The girl was so frightened that she screamed loudly, "Let go! Truong Lap, stop right now." He also gave a lecherous smile and replied, "Lai Tuk, what are you pretending to be so pure for? Today, I'm going to do you right here. Ha 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 ha." The voluptuous Lai Tuk pleaded desperately, "Truong Lap, what you're doing is illegal. Stop right now. I'm begging you." Then he actually tried to rip her clothes off. "Ha ha ha. You think I'm afraid of you? Let me tell you the truth. After I have my way with you, I'll hand you over to Chief Truong for a few more days. I'll still be just fine, and no one will know what happened." "No, I don't want that. Stop right now." Tears were already welling up in Lai Tuk's eyes. "Someone please save me. Boot hoo-hoo." Outside, our Duong Van strode in with confidence. The two guys outside immediately threatened him. "Who the hell are you? Get lost. We're not doing business here today. Don't you know that?" After hearing that, he calmly said, "Looks like I'll have to fight this one. Otherwise, these thugs here are going to commit a crime." Suddenly, the muscular guy with slicked-up hair tried to slap him hard across the face. "Kid, are you deaf?" Less than 2 seconds later, the man was already sent flying by one punch from him, cracking the wall. Then he slowly walked toward the other man and said, "What I hate most is when someone tries to hit me with that kind of attitude. So, buddy, do you still want to stop me?" The purple-haired guy was so terrified he nearly pissed himself and did not dare even breathe. "You, don't come any closer." The fat bastard inside still had no idea what was going on. "Ha ha ha. The more you struggle, the more excited I get." Suddenly, our Duong Van spoke up. "Hey, you bald fat pig." At that moment, the man's lust was completely killed. "You, who are you? Are you an agent or something? Damn it, where did those two useless pieces of trash go?" Duong Van immediately replied, "Are you talking about them?" When everyone looked toward the door, they were scared stiff, because those two were already lying limp on the ground, unconscious. "Why you? Who exactly are you?" On the roof, there was a very cute little black cat happily sunbathing. Suddenly, the fat boss's thunderous shouts startled the cat like its tail had been stepped on. "Where are you guys? Hurry up and chop them up for me." 3 or 4 bald guys immediately charged forward. But less than 3 seconds later, each of them ate one punch from our Duong Van and flew into the wall, cracking several huge holes into it. The boss was so scared that he wet himself, with sweat pouring from his armpits, unable to say a word. Duong Van then dusted off his hands and said, "Well, who did you just say you were going to chop up? Come on, I'm waiting." As soon as he finished speaking, 5 of Duong Van's fingerprints were already printed across the bald boss's face. Seeing how handsome and cool he was, Lai Tuk froze in a daze. Then the man angrily said, "You bastard, do you know who I am?" "I am There was no need to think much. Duong Van gave him another slap across the other cheek. At that moment, tears welled in Lai Tuk's eyes as she thought, "Oh my God, who is he? Why did he appear right now? Could heaven have sent him here as a gift for me?" Then the fat boss, in terrible pain, knelt down and begged, "Big brother, I know I was wrong. I won't dare do it again next time. Boo-hoo-hoo, please spare me this once." Duong Van flicked him on the head again and said, "As a man, how can you be this pathetic? You deserve a beating." Truong Lap was so furious, it was like he had bitten into a chili pepper, and he thought, "Damn it, no matter what I do, I get hit. How do you expect me to live? Fine, I'll give you a chance. Tell me who you are, and maybe I'll reconsider." After hearing that, the fat Truong Lap turned purple with rage and ground his teeth. Then he put on an absurdly cutesy act and replied, "Sir, I am an adorable little puppy. I hope you can spare this little pup just this once. I promise I'll never appear before you again." Thay. Duong Van immediately pointed toward the beautiful, voluptuous Lai Tuk and said, "You're pretty smart, but the person you should be begging is that beautiful lady over there." She was slightly startled. "Huh, me?" He immediately rushed over to Lai Tuk, knelt, bowed repeatedly, and begged, "Big sister, I was wrong. Please just treat me like a little puppy. I promise I'll never bother you again. Please spare my life. Please spare my life." After hearing that, Lai Tuk thought in confusion, "Oh my God, he's actually kneeling and bowing to me like this? I can hardly believe it." And she spoke up, "Well, in that case, I suppose it's fine. Please spare him this once." At the same time, she trembled and thought to herself, although Truong Lap's men were wiped out today, there is still a terrifying force behind him. These people will definitely come back to take revenge on me. Even if my benefactor is very powerful, there's no way he can stand against their gang. Maybe I need to leave this place soon. Our Duong Van then said, "All right, since the beauty has said to spare you, then I'll listen to her. However, you came here and caused trouble, making the restaurant stop operating. And there's also compensation for emotional distress for me and her, medical expenses, and the restaurant's losses. You definitely have to pay compensation, right?" The fat Truong Lap was so angry he nearly coughed blood and cursed inwardly. "Damn it, I'm already a vicious gangster, but this guy is even more vicious than me. What the hell? Did I go out on the wrong day today?" Seeing that he had been silent for too long, our Duong Van leaned close to his face and threatened, "What's wrong? You don't want to compensate us." Truong Lap immediately flinched and replied, Yes, I'll compensate you. Duong Van then turned and asked, "Beauty, how long have they been coming to harass your restaurant?" "I don't remember the number of times. I only opened the restaurant last month." Duong Van said, "Then let's count it as 2 months. This restaurant is nice. With normal business, it makes 1,000 a day. 60 days is 60,000. Plus the beauties and my emotional damages and medical fees, you'll compensate us 150,000. When Truong Lap heard that, he practically screamed, "What the hell? Why don't you just become a robber?" Duong Van immediately smiled until his eyes curved and replied, "Hand over the money. 160,000 yuan. Hurry up. I don't want to keep looking at you people." "What? Didn't you just say 150,000? What's wrong? If you don't hand it over, I'll add another 1,000. Okay." Left with no choice, he accepted with tears in his eyes. Yes. I'll immediately give you 160,000 yuan. Old 5, go to the car and bring the money here." "Yes, boss, I'm going right now." A while later, the fat Truong Lap handed Duong Van a pink piggy bank and said, "Big brother, here's the money." Duong Van immediately punched him so hard his mouth split. "Damn, you dare play tricks on me?" Then he threw the piggy bank to the ground with a crash, shattering it. Inside was a blue card. The bald Truong Lap's face was covered in blood and looked miserable, but he still had to smile brightly and say, "Yes, the money is right here. Sorry to trouble you to withdraw it yourself, big brother." Duong Van also replied happily, "Oh, is that so? Then you people can get lost now. I don't want to see you again in the future. You can also come find me for revenge, as long as you have more money. Now get lost." After hearing that, the 3 of them gave bitter smiles and left. Then the beautiful Lai Tuk spoke up. "About what happened earlier, thank you. No need to thank me. However, can you make me something to eat? I'm so hungry I could die." Boo-hoo-hoo. After hearing that, Lai Tuk was completely stunned. Then she smiled brightly and replied, "No problem. Hee." A while later, the young man ate as if he had never eaten before. A whole pile of bowls and plates was stacked up like a mountain. which was seriously frightening. Lai Tuk then brought out another dish with her full figure swaying. Fish, here's the fish. Grilled fish is here. Seeing him eat so wildly, she froze stiff, completely speechless. You're eating way too fast. No one's fighting you for it, so don't choke. A while later, after finishing the meal, the young man let out a massive burp. His belly had swollen until it looked like an oil drum, and his face was filled with happiness. I'm full. Thank you for treating me. Lai Tuk also smiled brightly and replied, I'm the one who should be thanking you. Hee hee, thank you for saving me. I don't know how I should repay you. Huh, you've already repaid me. The beautiful Lai Tuk found that hard to understand and asked, what do you mean? The young man gave a handsome, cool boy answer. The fact that you're safe and sound is the best repayment for me. After hearing that, her cheeks flushed red as she thought, oh my god, he's so handsome. But I always feel like something about this is a little off. At that moment, Lai Tuk answered shyly, my name is Lai Tuk. May I ask what your name is? My name is Duong Van. Nice to meet you, Lai Tuk. The scene shifts to a busy street nearby. A young man in a purple shirt was walking down the street when he noticed something strange. He heard someone speaking. Xiao Tiandian, your pecs have gotten bigger again. Damn, it turned out two flamboyant young men were actually feeling each other's chests. Oh my, team leader, yours are still bigger. I've spent years sweeping up gangsters. How could I not have muscles? Seeing this, the purple shirt young man vomited everywhere. Then the two of them even looked like they were about to hug and kiss. My dear team leader, come here. Hee hee. Damn it, that's disgusting, too disgusting. I just ate a bowl of crab noodle soup, and now I've puked it all back up. Suddenly, the sound of many footsteps could be heard. A crowd of over 100 men, all with furious faces ugly as dogs, was heading somewhere. Seeing this, the two effeminate men panicked and shouted, oh my god, hurry and call the police. They're gangsters. The purple shirt man spoke up. What nonsense are you talking about? Aren't you people the police? Oh right, we are the police. What are we afraid of? Right, I nearly forgot. With idiots like you still want to wipe out the underworld? I'm honestly too tired to even comment. Over at our Duong Van and Lai Tuk's place, the two of them were doing some weird nonsense that had them both sweating like crazy. Sister Tuk, it's a little difficult at first, but you'll get used to it slowly. No, this really is too big. Oh my god, is this actually happening? Sister Tuk, please accept it. Oh no, I can't. I really can't. Damn, it turned out the young man was just forcing Lai Tuk to accept the card. Well, way to make it sound creepy. I really can't accept this. Duong Van replied, I already told you, this is your compensation money. You've been running this restaurant for so long, and your losses haven't been small. Just consider this as compensation to you. But how could I possibly? Duong Van leaned forward and said, Sister Tuk, I'm also your employee now. You still have to pay me wages in the future, right? A restaurant server needs 2 people too, and my salary won't be low, you know? Please accept it. Being pressured by him so much, Lai Tuk had no choice but to accept. Then all right. After hearing that, he happily shouted, oh yeah. Then he said, right, didn't the job include food and lodging? Where's my place to stay? Lai Tuk thought to herself, oh no, this isn't good. Although the recruitment notice did say food and lodging were included, that was before. Since the Fujin Group and Truong Lap have still been secretly causing trouble, they took the original rented house and let their underlings live there. Finding it strange, Duongvan asked again, Sister Tuk, what's wrong? She replied, from now on, you can live with us. After hearing that, he was shocked stiff. Damn, could it be that because I saved the beauty this time, she's really going to repay me with her body? Then Lai Tuk blushed and said, don't get any improper ideas. I live with my younger sister. There just happens to be an empty room, so you can move in. After hearing that, our Duong Van felt rather disappointed. Oh, I understand. Suddenly, the thugs from earlier had already arrived at Duong Van's place. He also noticed them in surprise. Then they kicked the door open and acted like street thugs, saying, which blind bastard dared to beat up people from our lamb gang? Hurry up and roll out here. Lai Tuk broke out in a cold sweat and thought, oh no, it's the lamb gang. They came back for revenge. What should we do? Our Duong Van immediately ran out to welcome them warmly. Welcome, everyone, to our restaurant. Seeing this, Lai Tuk nearly had her eyes pop out. Oh no, Duong Van, he's gone crazy. Are you all here to eat? Please sit, please sit. Huh, how does this look anything like they're here for a meal? At that moment, the slick-haired boss spoke up. You tell me. What do you think we came here for? Duong then scratched his head and replied, silly me. Seeing you all come to a restaurant, of course you must be here to eat. Here, this is our restaurant's menu. Please have a look. Lai Tuk was utterly terrified, but something is clearly wrong here. It's over. Duong Van thinks they're customers. Is he joking or what? The boss then glared and thought, this brat, is he not afraid of us? Suddenly, the fat bald man spoke up. Brother Ba, it's him. He's the one who beat me up, Brother Ba. Truong Lap, that's him. Then he said smugly, last time we had too few people. This time, we're definitely going to. Before he could finish, our Duong Van patted him on the shoulder and said, Gwasup man, isn't this little Truong? I know you've completely turned over a new leaf and become a good person, but you didn't have to bring so many brothers to visit our restaurant and celebrate, did you? After hearing that, the man froze stiff, completely speechless. Suddenly, the boss spoke angrily. Hey kid, can't you tell we're the Lamb Gang? At that moment, Duong Van was startled. Damn, the Lamb Gang? The whole group immediately laughed with great delight. Who would have thought that as soon as we said we were the Lamb Gang, he'd be scared like this? So he's just a coward after all. Duong Van, what's wrong? Suddenly, he asked her, what is the Lamb Gang? After hearing that, Lai Tuk fell flat on her back. Everyone on the other side had faces as black as the bottom of a pot, totally unable to understand what was going on. Then Lai Tuk explained it to the young man. So that's how it is. I understand now. If you're gangsters, I won't discriminate against you either. As soon as he finished speaking, it was as if the radiance of Buddhas from all 10 directions shone straight into the gangsters' eyes, blinding them. What a strange feeling. What exactly is happening? Save me, it's too dazzling. Then our Duong Van smiled brightly and said, come on, choose your dishes. Please, harmful pests, please choose what you'd like to eat. Hearing that, the whole group of gangsters became as furious as if they had bitten into chili peppers. They pulled out their weapons and said angrily, damn it, brothers, he's mocking us. That's right, he's clearly making fun of us. The bald man also said gleefully, you're dead for sure. You dare to pose our Lamb Gang. We'll chop you up and feed you to the dogs. And that woman too. After that, I'll let my brothers take turns violating you. Ha 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 ha. When Lai Tuk heard that, she was instantly shocked and terrified. Right. And you too, little sister. KH. Perfect, just perfect. Suddenly, our Duong Van charged over and struck at once. Too bad for you. I was still hoping you could repent and become a new man. And of all people, the one chosen was that bald Truong Lap. With one punch from him, the guy flew out and shattered all the glass windows. Seeing that, everyone's jaws dropped in utter terror. After that, our Duong Van grabbed Truong Lap by the neck and lifted him right off the ground. This really makes me think of the bad things I did in the past. He was also remembering how he had previously been dragged out to that island by the whole group. The scene shifts to the police station. At this moment, 2 guys from the Snake Gang hurriedly ran in, opened the door, and said, Sister Din. And no, this is bad. This big red-haired woman was named Din Twen. What is it calling me at this hour? Do you two want to die? The 2 of them immediately flailed around as they explained, it's that person. She was so angry that she slapped each of them across the face. Only then did the 2 calm down and recount everything. Sister Din, that's what happened. Suddenly, Din Twen slammed her hand on the table and said angrily, what? The Lamb Gang is gathering to cause trouble again. Do they dare act like we're nothing? Let's go. Hurry and arrest them. Back where our Duong Van was, there were several hundred of them, but not a single one dared to rush forward. The boss was also breaking out in cold sweat, his armpits soaked, thinking, damn it, who exactly is this guy? No matter what, he suddenly shouted, you dare look down on our Lamb Gang? Get him. Kill him for me. Kill. Just as they were about to charge in and fight, our Duong Van turned back and glared once, and the whole group immediately wet their pants. All of a sudden, several police cars arrived. The gangsters were so frightened, it was as if lightning had struck them on the head. Then Din Twen stepped out of the car in an imposing manner and said, all of you squat down and hold your heads. Anyone who isn't afraid of dying, just try standing there. The whole group immediately obeyed like puppies. On this side, our Duong Van was still as stubborn as an ox, standing there, motionless. Din Twen then shouted, and you over there, what are you doing? Don't you understand what I'm saying? Are you deaf? Can't you hear me talking? I'm warning you. At this moment, the The big Din twin was also startled to realize that the people around him had already been beaten to a pulp by him and were lying all over the ground. After that, he said with a face as cold as ice, "I don't know. What's going on?" Din twin immediately pulled out her gun and said angrily, "Put your hands up now. I'll shoot." Our Duong Van froze for a few seconds, then replied coldly, "Beauty, acting like this isn't very polite. Shut your mouth. Put your hands up, or I really will fire. You people were doing illegal things, and I saw everything as soon as I arrived." Seeing that this young man was too stubborn, but that she could not really fire, Din Twin put the gun back in her pocket. Suddenly, she used an enraged dragon kick straight at our Duong Van's head, but he calmly used one hand to catch her leg with ease. Din Twin immediately pulled back and threw a frontal kick at his face. Our Duong Van lightly dodged aside and caught her leg firmly. "A woman like you is way too violent." Suddenly, the young man held her with his hand, making her bend backward, exposing her full, round chest. At the same time, he said, "If you keep this up, your chest will get smaller." The group of young police officers on this side immediately gave him countless likes. "Great, great, great. A true hero. Brothers forever. Absolutely awesome." At this moment, Din Twin flew into a rage, smoke practically coming from her head. She quickly pulled out her weapon and said, "You bastard, I'm going to kill you." "Kill me? You really don't know what's good for you." When Din Twin pulled the trigger, she realized, "What the hell? Why? Why are there no bullets?" Our Duong Van calmly walked away and replied, "Because the bullets are already in my hand. You can't just do that to anyone. Whenever you feel like it. I hope there won't be a next time." Then he lightly patted the boss on the shoulder. "Whether I brawled with them or not, you can ask them. Brother Bo, explain the situation here to this police officer." The man then replied, "Okay, no problem. Hey, comrade officer, I am Wong Bo. I will explain today's matter to your chief Chun. The situation is that this gentleman and I have nothing to do with each other. Right now, do you want to take me back to the station or let us leave?" At the same time, he was thinking, in any case, the gifts I've given this past year weren't for nothing. They definitely won't dare do anything to me. Unexpectedly, Officer Din Twin kicked him straight in the groin. "Don't bring up those rotten dealings in front of me. It's not your turn to speak here. Now, you must come with me. Today, I have to take this person away and teach him a proper lesson." Then Lai Tuk spoke up, "Comrade officer, I can testify. What happened today was that they came here to cause trouble. It has nothing to do with Duong Van. Please, make an exception." After hearing that, Duong Van was also startled and surprised. Din Twin then pointed and said with a frown, "We will investigate what really happened. As for him, he's a hooligan. Miss, as for him, you'd be better off staying farther away from him." Our Duong Van was thinking, "We've known each other for less than 2 hours, yet Sister Took is already worried about me." Then he smiled brightly and said, "Sister Took, don't worry. I'm just cooperating with the police. I'll be back very soon, but this won't be okay. Don't worry, nothing will happen. I'll be back right away." Let's go then. To the police station. Din Twin then ordered, "Men, take all of them back for me." "Understood, Sister Din." At this moment, Lai Tuk's face was extremely worried. "Duong Van, you must not let anything happen to you." The scene shifts to the police station. At this moment, our Duong Van shouted, "Damn it, is anyone there? Anyone? I've been locked up here for 2 hours already." A police officer opened the door and called, "Hey, come with us." "Where are you two taking me?" "You'll know when we get there." Then our Duong Van was startled to discover that it was that Din Twin again. "How annoying. What the hell, it's you again. Who else would it be? What's with that irritated expression of yours?" After that, the two officers locked the iron door. At this moment, the three of them wore extremely sinister, nasty smiles. "Sister Din, the door is locked. Even if he tries to run to the heavens." Ha ha ha. Then Din Twin interrogated the young man about all sorts of things. "Name? Duong Fun. Where do you live?" "Golden Cloud City." "ID number?" "I don't have one." "What? You don't have an ID and still dare fight in the city center? You've got some nerve. I just checked. There are a total of 17 people named Duong Van in Golden Cloud City, but none of those 17 look like you. Who exactly are you?" Our Duong Van then replied, "I am someone with a kind heart who will not ignore injustice when he sees it." After hearing that, everyone was so fed up they could hardly breathe. "Are you talking nonsense?" I don't care what kind of person you are. Today you got into a fight, and now that you've fallen into my hands, just wait to go to prison. Our Duong Van frowned and replied, they attacked first. I was only defending myself. Is even that not allowed? According to the law, my situation counts as self-defense. It is not illegal. At the same time, he was thinking, this girl is really troublesome. Suddenly, Din Twin slammed her hand on the table and said angrily, I don't care whether you broke the law or not. If I say you did, then you did. If you refuse to admit it, that's fine. I'll make you say it. As she spoke, they took out weapons to scare our Duong Van. What kind of police were these? Then the two scumbags smiled vulgarly and approached to make their move. Our Duong Van said, I advise you not to lay a hand on me. Otherwise, your ending will be miserable. Immediately, one of them circled behind him and hugged him tightly. Damn, kid, you're pretty arrogant. Put a book against his chest and hold him down hard. Even if something happens, it won't be found during an examination. Ha 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 ha. One man suddenly grabbed a baseball bat, rushed forward, and shouted, How dare you offend Sister Din? Watch how I teach you a lesson. Just as the bat swung down, the man behind him took it right in the mouth, almost breaking all his teeth. The other man stood there dumbly, full of question marks, not understanding what had happened. It turned out that our Duong Van had somehow moved behind the man holding the bat in an almost unbelievable way. Are you holding him down or holding me down? I'm clearly holding him down. Duong Van then said, Hee, that's why I told you not to make a move. Damn it, when did you get out? Damn you, if you dare look down on us. Then take this. Just as he swung the bat again, the man from before took another hit to the other cheek, which was even more painful. Then he spun around like a pinwheel. It was truly bizarre. Finally, the two men fell face first, stacked on top of each other, looking extremely miserable. Save me, save me. What is going on? For some reason, Din Twin was extremely pleased at this moment. Good. You intended to sneak attack the police. That adds another charge. Let's see how you run this time. Haha. Our Duong then stared in shock and replied, Damn it, which eye of yours saw me? Do anything. Both of them. KH. Suddenly, a voice came from outside. Miss, open the door quickly. When Din Twin opened the door, she discovered it was the station chief. What is the station chief doing here at a time like this? Who is this girl? The station chief replied, Mr. Duong Van has been bailed out by this young lady. Finding it strange, Din Twin asked, Who are you? The blonde woman did not bother answering and walked straight in. Are you all right, Mr. Duong? At this moment, Din Twin was so angry her face turned purple and she cursed wildly. Damn you, how dare you ignore me? Get over here. Duong Van then replied, I'm fine. May I ask how I should address you, miss? I'm sorry, Mr. Duong. It is not convenient to reveal that for now. I have already completed the bail procedures for you. Mr. Duong may leave now. After hearing that, Duong Van easily removed his own handcuffs. Thank you. Then let's go. Hee. On the other side, Din Twin could do nothing about it, which made her furious. Comrade officer, if fate allows, we may meet again. Then our Duong Van laughed loudly and ran off like mad. Seeing this, the red-haired Din Twin ground her teeth, furious beyond belief. After that, he walked down the street, thinking to himself, I only just set foot in Golden Cloud City, yet someone already knows me. In that case, the fact that I survived on that small island is no longer secret. But who in Golden Cloud City could have such accurate information? Could it be the Lamb family? Suddenly, the curvy Lai Tuk came running over in a panic. Duong Van, are you all right? I'm really sorry. I drag you into this. Our Duong Van replied, It's all right. I'm still safe. Don't say that, sister. You're a good person. You've already helped me so much. At this moment, Lai Tuk was sweating as she smiled brightly and replied, It's wonderful that you're all right. I was worried about how they might treat you. Seeing that nothing happened to you, I can finally relax. After hearing that, he felt extremely moved. The next morning, the two of them discussed plans for the restaurant. Sister Tuk, how about we renovate the restaurant first? We still have to run the business, after all. Right. Duong Van is absolutely right. After that, he went out onto the street to hand out recruitment flyers, scattering them everywhere. We're hiring. Golden Cloud Restaurant is famous for delicious, fragrant food. Come experience the finest value our restaurant has to offer. Salary, benefits, and employee lodging are guaranteed. Priority goes to those who come first. Everyone, take a look. "Brother, take a look at this. Are you interested?" The buzz-cut man took it and said, "Sure, sure." Then he used it to wipe his nose. "Damn you, I didn't tell you to use it as a tissue." A few days later, the two of them sat at the table, holding their heads in worry. Ugh, this is so frustrating. No one has come for the recruitment at all. Sister Took, how is it on your side? I still haven't made any progress. The flyers were thrown everywhere, but no one cared. I think no one will come today. We'll probably have to close early again. Suddenly, a young man walked in and said, "Excuse me, are you still hiring?" At this moment, Duong Van and Lai Tuk's eyes shone brightly with excitement. Yes, come here. Sit down first. Let's talk about salary and holidays. Please have some tea." The job applicant nearly fell over. But I haven't even been hired yet." Our Duong Van immediately revealed an extremely wicked smile. "No, you have already passed the interview. Congratulations." After hearing that, the applicant broke out in a cold sweat, thinking, "Oh my God, it feels like I've come to a place where something isn't quite right. Actually, Before he could finish speaking, our Lai Tuk brought out 15 cups of tea for the young man to drink. Please have some tea. If it's not enough, I'll get more for you." Our Duong Van looked at it and nearly fell over. "Sister Tuk, isn't this a little too much?" "Not at all. When an honored guest comes, we have to entertain him properly." At this moment, the job applicant thought fearfully, "I never expected them to be this enthusiastic toward guests." Then Duong Van and Lai Tuk smiled brightly and said, "Hello, I'm Lai Tuk, the owner of this restaurant. Im Duong Ban. Hello, let's shake hands and get acquainted." The job applicant also replied happily, "My name is Kian Nin. I'm very happy to come to this restaurant. Please take care of me from now on." At the same time, the young man thought, strange. They aren't like the bosses I usually deal with. I want to become their employee. I'll definitely work hard and strive for success. I must cherish this opportunity, work well, and not disappoint you. Good. I'm very happy with that attitude of yours. You're very passionate. Kian Nin then asked, "Why is there no one in the restaurant? Is it temporarily closed?" Our Duong Van replied, "Well, after all, gangsters often come by here." "What the hell? Gangsters?" The young man immediately ran outside, so fast his hair practically flew back. Our Duong Van pulled him back and said, "Didn't you just say you would work hard? Why are you running away now?" Kian Nin answered in a panic, "Don't scare people, okay? Those are gangsters. Besides, that goes against my 3 great principles." 3 great principles? What are they? That's right, the 3 great principles. First, don't cause trouble. Second, never cause big trouble. Third, as long as it's trouble, I will never get involved with it. Forgive me for being blunt. After hearing that, both Duong Van and Lai Tuk were completely baffled. What the hell kind of 3 principles are those? Isn't that just 1 principle? And he still calls it 3 principles. If you're going to talk, then talk. Why wave your arms around? Then Lai Tuk tried to persuade the young man to stay. "Sir, please think it over a little more." The young man Kian Nin was still determined to refuse to the death. "Please don't say any more. I absolutely will not violate my first principle. If anyone is to blame the fact that we have no faith." Then our beautiful Lai Tuk spoke to the young man in a voice sweet as honey. "All right, I won't blame you. Although it's a real pity, I respect your opinion. I also wish you a life without trouble." At this moment, the young man looked at her with utterly love-struck eyes. Then he begged pitifully again, "Iveri considered. Please let me stay and help, even without a salary." After hearing that, our Duong Van was completely baffled. "What the hell? I was about to cry from hearing how you live by your principles. I can start working right now. Please give me your instructions." Kian Nin really is enthusiastic. "You're really strange. How can you change your attitude faster than flipping a pancake?" After that, our Lai Tuk had the young man carry a 50-kilogram sack of rice. "Kian Nin, thanks to your help, I feel so much more at ease." "Thank you." The girl-crazy young man then replied, "This is nothing. After all, this is my job. But why didn't Duong Van come with us? Isn't there no customer in the restaurant?" "Oh, Duong Van said he wanted to stay behind to decorate the restaurant, so he couldn't help. I won't go. There's still a lot of work to do at the restaurant. Still, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the restaurant looks like after it's redecorated." Sorry, I have a phone call." Unexpectedly, the person on the phone shouted, "Your little sister is in my hands." After hearing that, Lai Tuk's mouth fell open in utter shock. The scene shifts to the restaurant. Our Duong Van had already cleaned and decorated the place until it was spotless and beautiful. At this moment, he sat on the sofa and let out a relieved sigh. At last, Sister Took's dining room was finally tidied up. When they come back, they'll definitely be shocked. How will Sister Took praise me? I'm really looking forward to it. But why haven't they come back after so long? Maybe I should go play some games for a bit. Maybe look around for some fighting games. A new arcade just opened on the little street next door. I'll go for a while and come right back. A while later, at the arcade, the pizza entertainment zone was packed with people, everyone talking noisily. It turned out that Lai, Took, and Kin were also here. At this moment, the young man was so scared he nearly wet himself, thinking to himself, "Damn it, this situation is really bad. I never thought things would turn out like this. Boss, what happened?" Lai Took immediately answered, "They kidnapped my little sister. I have to save her." Nin was crying miserably as he said, "They're real underworld people. I never thought I'd run into something like this on my very first day at work." Then Lai Took's little sister shouted loudly, "Sister, sister, I'm here." A big man in a suit was tightly gripping Lai Took's little sister's hand. In pain, she cursed, "You bastard, let go of me. You heartless thing, let me go." "Noyat nah, I'm here." She was just about to rush over when a shirtless, long-haired tattooed man suddenly blocked her. "So you're that little girl's older sister?" "That's right, I am. What do you want?" He immediately stared at her ample chest and sighed. "Damn, you've got quite the figure. Your sister's classmates lost at pool and used this girl as collateral to us. Now she belongs to us. What do you think we want? If you want to take her away, either pay us the money or else. That thing. Be good and come with us." Seeing the injustice, Kinnin stepped forward and said, "What you're doing is illegal. Taking a person as a gambling stake is way too unreasonable. Besides, the ones who lost the bet were those three. Why should Noyet now be kept here? What right do you have?" As soon as he finished speaking, the tattooed man rushed over and slapped Kin so hard his mouth nearly burst. "Loudmouth brat, you're too weak." Lai Took hurriedly ran over. "Kin, are you all right? We're talking here. Since when is it your turn to butt in trash? I suddenly thought a good idea. Let's make a bet. If you beat me, I'll let you leave. But if you lose, you'll strip naked and dance in front of us." After hearing that, the whole pack of scumbags cheered excitedly. Big Brother said it well. Big Brother is the best. Lai Took frowned, terrified to the extreme. Kin struggled to get up and said, "Absolutely not." Noyat Na also angrily cursed them out. "You shameless bastards. Don't even dream of it. My sister will never agree to your condition." The three boys on this side then said, "Forget it. You can barely protect yourself, so just give up." "What did you say, you three stinking bastards? You three are scum. I'll never forgive you." Two of them were about to rush over and fight. "What did you say?" "I said you're scum. If you've got the guts, come fight me one-on-one." At this moment, Lai Took sat on the ground, feeling utterly helpless. "What should I do? I have no idea what to do. This is too difficult." Then the boss asked again, "Well, have you thought it over?" "Let them go. I'll pay however much they owe." "Okay, good. Bingzi, calculate how much money those three owe us." The guy behind him immediately picked up an abacus, calculated for a while, then answered, "Okay, done, Big Brother. Including everything at the end, the total is 1 million yuan." After hearing that, Lai Took was utterly shocked. Noyet Na and Kin also gaped, their faces turning pale. "What? Are you insane? How could it be that much? How is that possible? How could ordinary people gamble up to 1 million? Besides, they're still students. Could it be that you insist on wanting that thing?" Lai Took then lowered her head and stammered, Let them go. I'll stay." After hearing that, the scumbag boss was extremely pleased. "I'm sorry, Miss Lee. Right now, there's only one path, and that is to gamble. Besides, my brothers and I have wanted to see your body for a long time. I, Sun Hao, really enjoy toying with other people. Hee. Under the many filthy, shameless gazes of those bastards, tears were already welling up in Lai Took's eyes. Unexpectedly, our Duong van had walked over and was standing outside. "Found you. So you were all here?" "It took quite a while to find you." Lai Took was crying miserably, looking extremely pitiful. Our Duong van walked in and said, "You left me behind again and came to the arcade to play. That's really inconsiderate. Duong van, you're here? Are you kidding? Let me join in too." The tattooed boss also asked, "Kid, who are you?" Then Lai Took stood up and said, "Duong van, how did you get here?" He answered, "I saw that you've been gone too long, so I came out to look for you. Golden Cloud City is so big. How did you find us?" our Duong Van replied. At first, I kept running back and forth, circling around nearby, to look for you, but I couldn't find any clues. Finding that strange, Kin Nin asked, hey wait, you were searching everywhere, but what exactly were you searching around? Are you directionally challenged? After that, things took a turn for the better. I heard Kin Nin's voice calling for help. Kin Nin angrily said, so you really were looking for the two of us? Then what were you doing circling around in front of shop? Our Duong Van explained with an awkward expression. Actually, I truly do care about you. Kin Nin immediately cursed. Damn you, that explanation is way too forced. If you came here to play games, just say so. Meanwhile, the underworld boss here tried to call out in vain, which was truly annoying. Hey, I'm an underworld boss, you know. Pay a little attention to me. Damn you people. The three of them were still chatting enthusiastically. I completely believe Duong Van. Boss, don't you think he's suspicious? She answered, I don't suspect him at all, because Duong Van wouldn't deceive us. After hearing that, our Duong Van gaped in utter surprise. Kin Nin also had no idea what was going on. Why the hell are you so surprised? Unexpectedly, young Duong Van lowered his head and sincerely apologized. I'm sorry. I won't go to the arcade to play anymore. After hearing that, Lai Tuk laughed happily. Meanwhile, young Kin Nin angrily cursed. Damn you. While we were in danger, you openly went to play games. I'm so mad I could die. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me. On this side, Noyet Na froze and thought to herself, who is that person? At this moment, the boss finally couldn't hold it in anymore and shouted at the top of his lungs. All of you shut up. Are we just decorations here for you to chat in front of? You dare look down on us? Brothers, go throw that meddlesome brat out. Immediately, a whole group of underlings charged forward with clubs. Our Duong Van also stepped up to protect them. He had to take on more than 10 men all by himself. Unexpectedly, he gave them one terrifying glare. After that, countless cries and screams rang out. In less than 30 seconds, more than 10 men were already sprawled all over the ground. Lai Tuk and Kin Nin watched with their mouths hanging open in utter shock. What is this? He knocked down that whole bunch of huge guys in an instant. Whoa, that's amazing. The boss and the remaining underworld thugs were also so frightened they nearly wet themselves. What the hell? How could he do that? Then our Duong Van said coldly, you can talk things over properly. Why resort to violence? You're right. Her little sister lost 1 million in a bet. Pay up. Noyet Na was so angry her face turned red as she cursed back. Nonsense. I didn't. They said it themselves. I never agreed. Duong Van then said, how about this? Since you didn't agree, if you want to collect, go collect from those 3 boys. They lost, so whether you chop off one of their arms or legs is your business. After hearing that, the 3 boys felt like they had been struck by lightning and nearly wet their pants. Then the boss spoke up, a loss is a loss. And you even beat up my men. Don't think you could just walk away. Do you know what kind of place this is? This is the Lamb Gang's territory. Got it, kid? After hearing that, our Duong Van frowned and muttered, damn it, it's the Lamb Gang again. Then he answered, in short, tell me what you want so we can end this quickly. Fine, let's compete at billiards. We'll make a bet. He also immediately agreed, fine. As long as we win, you let us go, right? That's right. Kin Nin was shocked. Damn it, don't agree so casually. On this side, the lousy boss was laughing with a crafty, delighted look. Okay, if you lose, the debt doubles, and all of you have to stay here for me to toy with. How about it? Our Duong Van wasn't afraid of him at all. He immediately showed an even more wicked smile. Since you're so confident, I'll play with you. Seeing this, the 2 on this side panicked. Then he turned and asked, oh, right, how do you play billiards? Instantly, the 2 of them fell over with their legs in the air. Unexpectedly, Kin Nin spoke up. Okay, fine, then leave it to me. Hearing that, our Duong Van and Lai Tuk both turned to look at the young man in surprise. Great, we're counting on you. The boss then said, damn, are you sure about that? The orange-haired young man put on an act and showed off. I once worked at a billiards hall. On a whim, I secretly learned a few tricks. Then Kin Nin immediately stepped up to show his skill, and with one shot, he sank 2 balls at once. It's barely usable. Is that enough? Then he kept sinking ball after ball, with effortless ease, which was unbelievably unreal. Seeing this, Duong Van and Lai Tuk were delighted. Unbelievable. Kin Nin, keep it up. At this moment, Kin Nin thought with determination, I have to avenge that punch from earlier. Just wait to admit defeat, you dogs. He sank another ball as fast as lightning right in front of the boss, making the man's face turn pale. Damn, this kid is actually good, but he's still too inexperienced. Hey, Zhonggui, get to work. The man behind him immediately nodded, and another ball dropped into a pocket. The two on this side were as happy as could be. We're about to win. We're about to win. Qiannin is amazing. Keep going. Young Qiannin blushed all over from the praise. Then the young man thought to himself, only the last ball is left. As long as it goes in, I win. Just as he was preparing to strike, something suddenly shot into Qiannin's face. Because he lost focus, the ball lost momentum and stopped, which was painful to watch. Damn it, no. Seeing this, the lousy boss laughed loudly in delight. What a pity. You were just a little short of winning. Ha! Our Duongvan also noticed and became furious. Trash. You dare play dirty? Kid, you're still too young. Turns out you're just a sheltered rookie. I'll show you what it means to clear the table in one run and crush your opponent completely. Haha, Ginning Grat Angli. Bastard, you dared cheat me. Then the boss started shooting wildly without stopping. The balls on the table gradually almost all went into the pockets. Seeing this, beautiful Lai Tuk became extremely worried. His score is about to overtake Qiannin's. What do we do, Duongvan? Another shot sank a ball as fast as lightning. Seeing this, Qiannin broke out in a cold sweat. Then the boss laughed disdainfully at his opponent. Hey kid, are you scared? As long as I sink one more ball, I'll be the winner. Brat, you're still far from being able to play against me. Victory is already decided. Lai Tuk said fearfully. Then what do we do? Qiannin is going to lose to him. Then he struck with tremendous force. Immediately, our Duongvan shot something toward the black ball, shifting it slightly to the side. The boss's white cue ball went straight into the pocket. At this moment, he exclaimed in disbelief, "Holy crap, how is that possible? What's going on?" After hearing that, Duongvan smiled with narrowed eyes and said, "What a pity. You clearly almost won. You're just a rookie like everyone else, yet you acted so arrogant." The boss then answered smugly, "Even so, you still can't beat me. Look at that kid." On this side, Qiannin had fallen deep into thought. Just once. I'm the one taking the shot. How could I possibly fail to make it? How could I? They were all right. Don't place your hopes on me. I don't want to lose, but why is the pressure so heavy? Then the boss was extremely pleased. Kid, why aren't you reacting? Where did your momentum from earlier go? You look really pathetic right now. Why don't you just admit defeat? Ha ha ha. Seeing this, our Duongvan put an arm around the young man's shoulders and said, "Qiannin, you don't have to carry all of this on your shoulders. Turn around and look. Aren't we still beside you? You've already worked very hard. Leave the rest to me." Qiannin hurriedly said, Can you do it? Of course. Don't worry. I've been watching this whole time. This little children's game is as easy as joking around. After hearing that, the lousy boss laughed with contempt. You're switching in another guy who's never played before? You people are so stupid, it's unbelievable. Our Duongvan picked up the cue and answered with an impressive air. So what? You hurt my friend again. I won't let you off. Then he struck with terrifying force. The ball spun like a pinwheel, knocking every remaining ball on the table into the pockets, which was truly unreal. At this moment, the boss was so shocked he had no idea what was happening. Damn it, this guy actually... Not a single ball was left over. How did they all go in? How is that possible? Then our Duongvan said coldly, "Release her. We won. Let me go, hurry." Noyet Na immediately ran to her beloved older sister and buried her face right into her cleavage. "Sister, we can go home now. I'm so happy." Qiannin and Duongvan also smiled happily. Unexpectedly, rage rushed to the boss's head, and he shouted, "Damn you, you're good. Brothers, where are you? All of you get them. Kill those two guys, and keep the two girls." The whole group immediately obeyed and charged forward. Seeing this, our Duongvan smiled with great interest. "Fine, I happen to be free right now." Then many loud screams rang out noisily. An old man standing outside was also startled. "What's going on over there?" After that, the whole group of underworld thugs lay scattered all over the ground. The three students on this side were so frightened they nearly wet themselves. The lousy boss's face was swollen like a steam bun as he knelt and kowtowed repeatedly, begging Duongvan, big brother, I am sorry. I won't dare do it again next time. Please spare this dog's life. I beg you." He also answered coldly. Fine. The three students were so scared that they tried to sneak away, but our Duongvan discovered them. "Hey, you three, get over here." Then all four of them kept kneeling and begging. Big brother, we were wrong. This was all ordered by Sun Hao. He took a fancy to Sister Noyet Na, so he used us to do this. This has nothing to do with us at all. Please spare us this time." Seeing this, the three on this side widened their eyes. Damn, Duong Van really is incredible. Then Duong Van smiled with narrowed eyes and said, I can spare you. The three of you go slap him. Each of you slaps him 30 times. You're not allowed to stop, and then we'll pretend nothing happened. Or I'll call the police. You and these people are all in the same group, tricking people into being sold off and imprisoning a female student. This is called abduction, maybe 18 years or so. Choose for yourselves. Haha. After hearing that, the whole group felt as if lightning had struck their heads, utterly terrified. Huh, slap him? The boss also glared and said, if you've got the guts, go ahead. Let's see if I don't cripple you all. Duong Van then added, it's fine if you don't want to make a move. In that case, you slap those three instead. 50 slaps each. How about it? Choose. After hearing that, the small-time boss immediately smiled and gave him a thumbs up. Damn, boss really is quick-witted. There's no need to choose at all. You three, get over here. Ha ha ha. The moment he finished speaking, he took a slap right across the mouth. This time, two of them held his arms and legs down, while one rushed up and unleashed a vicious chain of slaps. Damn you bastards. Let me go. After that, Duong Van walked over to Lai Tuk and smiled brightly. It's all right now. Let's go home. She smiled back at him too. Outside, the old man was once again scared out of his wits, completely unable to understand what was going on. What exactly happened over there? Then Qianin waved goodbye. I'll head back first then. See you tomorrow. Okay, be careful. At that moment, Lai Tuk remembered something and hurried off, saying, Duong Van, I'll go back first and help you tidy up your room. Unexpectedly, little Noyet Na hugged his arm and beamed as she said, then I'll take my brother-in-law shopping. Haha, our Duong Van was instantly startled. Huh, brother-in-law. Over here, Lai Tuk also looked delighted, her cheeks turning red. Seeing this, he thought to himself, damn, she didn't object. Does that count as silent agreement? The scene shifted to that evening. He and Noyet Na also returned home. As soon as he opened the door and stepped inside, what entered his eyes was Lai Tuk's curvy figure wrapped in an extremely thin piece of cloth, faintly revealing a whole fruit garden. Seeing that, the young man's nosebleeds sprayed everywhere. Lai Tuk immediately turned away and covered her chest. Duong Van, why are you back so soon? Oh, I'll go change first. Then she ran straight into her room and slammed the door shut. Seeing this, Noyet Na put her hands on her hips and said, what's there to be embarrassed about? Sooner or later, you'll marry him anyway. We have 3 bedrooms and 1 dining room. That's your room, brother-in-law. Go inside. I'm going to sleep first. Our Duong Van obediently did as she said. That night, as he slept, the young man was dreaming about chasing a curvy pink-haired girl. Near the lakeside, Qian had set up a temporary tent, looking extremely miserable. Achoo, why is it so cold? The next morning, our Duong Van had already woken up. Yo, another beautiful day. The young man was also startled to discover Lai Tuk opening the door and walking out. Sister Tuk, you're up so early. At that moment, she was wearing a tank top, revealing her full, plump chest, looking extremely breezy. Seeing this, Duong Van's nostrils sprayed blood like a tornado. Oh no, I forgot Duong Van is living with me. Little Noyet Na also suddenly opened the door and walked out. Sis, why are you making so much noise so early in the morning? She was also wearing a pink top and looked just as cute. Haha, good morning, brother-in-law. Good morning. Noyet Na, your clothes. The young man was about to faint. A while later, at Lai Tuk's restaurant, it was currently still completely empty. Seeing that, the 3 of them were so discouraged they could barely breathe. We clearly just opened. Why are there no customers? It's probably because of the Lamb Gang's influence. Don't get discouraged so quickly. If we can't open a restaurant, we can switch to selling sandwiches. Cheap to make and high profit. At this moment, Duong Van rubbed his chin and thought to himself, to untie the knot, we still need the one who tied it. Then he cheerfully said, if we want to resolve this, we still have to find that guy Wang Bo. At this moment, Boss Wang Bo was at a bar with 2 girls, sneezing nonstop. Damn, I have a bad feeling about this. Have you contacted the doctor for me yet? Yes, Brother Bo. I've already contacted him. We can go this afternoon. At that moment, he ground his teeth in frustration and thought, damn it, I never expected that I, Wang Bo, would have a day like this. Damn, it turned out that earlier, the young man had been dumped by his mistress, who said, so useless. Why is that thing of yours so soft? What are you supposed to do with that? Damn it, if this gets out, how can I face anyone again? I'll die of shame. Suddenly, there was a loud bang, and all his underlings flew straight inside. Damn it, who dares cause trouble on my turf? Our Duong Van walked in with a bright smile and replied, Brother Bo, don't be angry. I said I came to see you, but these guys wouldn't let me in, so I had no choice but to use force. Heh. After hearing that, the little underworld boss started sweating profusely. Then he warmly welcomed Duong Van. Hello, Brother Van. Brother Van, what perfect timing. Why are you free to visit today? Oh, I came to ask you for a small favor. He immediately gave a bitter smile, patted his chest, and said, Brother Van, just give the order. This little brother will definitely do his best. Okay, good. You can definitely handle this matter. A while later, at Lai Tuk's restaurant, Duong Van, why did you suddenly blindfold me? He replied, I want to show you something. It's a surprise. I guarantee Sister Tuk will like it. Huh? A surprise. At this moment, Kien Nin turned and asked quietly, Is that Brother Bo guy reliable, Duong Van? Definitely. Right now, only he can remove the negative influence. Don't worry, he won't dare mess around. Leave this to me. I guarantee I'll satisfy you. If that's the case, then good. We're here. Lai Tuk also had no idea what was going on. This is so strange. What exactly is the surprise? As soon as she removed the blindfold, the entire group in suits bowed their heads and shouted loudly, Welcome, Madam Boss. Seeing this, she was extremely shocked. Oh my goodness, what happened to my restaurant? Finding it strange, Kien Nin asked, Duong Van, I don't think this is very appropriate. Suddenly, the small-time blonde boss spoke up. Brother Van, you're here. Did I do well? Everything, top to bottom, is excellent. The customers will definitely be very satisfied. Heh. The two young men over here looked utterly speechless, completely unable to understand what kind of setup this was. Then two men walked over. Immediately, four bunny-eared girls flirted with them. Big brothers over there, aren't you going to come in and take a look? Unexpectedly, customers poured in like ants. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Give me another bowl. The boss happily said, Brother Van, do you think this is okay now? Our Duong Van was delighted. Excellent. The shop is already full of customers. Maybe this can't. Before he could finish speaking, Lai Tuk had already patted the young man on the shoulder from behind. At that moment, the young man was so frightened he nearly wet himself. I never thought you could do something like this. No, this is a misunderstanding. Then a bespectacled creep tried to flirt with little Noyet Na. She angrily said, I already told you, my sister has a boyfriend. He immediately replied, then at least introduce me. After all, I am your homeroom teacher. Can't you give me some face? Noyet Na immediately pointed and said, Fine. It's that person over there. Kien Nin was still standing there blankly, having no idea what was going on. Noyet Na. The bespectacled man immediately walked over in frustration and said, Are you Noyet Na's brother-in-law? Hello, I am Liao Wenshu, Little Yu's homeroom teacher. Please stay away from Lai Tuk. After hearing that, the young man was completely baffled. What the hell? I think you got the wrong person. What do you mean by that? Kien Nin immediately turned and called out loudly, Duong Van, someone is looking for you. Over here, the young man was still begging Lai Tuk. Sister Tuk, can you forgive me? Let's make peace. Hey, brat, are you Little Yu's brother-in-law? Or not? Our Duong Van immediately turned around, his face burning with anger. What's wrong with you? Can't you see I'm busy? At that moment, the teacher broke out in a cold sweat. A while later, the two young men sat down to talk. Oh my, I didn't expect Little Yu's homeroom teacher to come for a home visit. I was rude just now. I'm really sorry. He replied, At least you know your place. No need for nonsense. As far as I know, Little Yu's older sister still doesn't have a boyfriend. You two aren't married yet, are you? What does that have to do with you, teacher? He immediately shouted furiously. Of course it has something to do with me. I advise you to leave Lai Tuk quickly, because she must be my girlfriend. Do you understand? Over here, our Duong Van calmly took out a cup of instant noodles and started eating. Seeing this, the teacher was so furious his blood rushed to his head. Hey you, listen to me seriously. And you're not even inviting me to eat noodles with you? This is infuriating. Our Duong Van calmly replied. I say, teacher, just how far are you planning to look down on others? Deciding someone else's life on your own. Is that something a teacher should do? What do you mean by that? Then the curvy Lai Tuk walked in and spoke. Teacher Liao, why do you have the free time to come to our home? Little Yu has always followed the rules, hasn't she? He immediately replied, Little Tuk, long time no see. I was assigned to visit students' families, so I came to visit you as well. May I ask if you're free tomorrow? I'm very sorry, Teacher Liao. I'm very busy and don't have time. As for little you, I believe she is very sensible. If there's nothing else, you may leave." After hearing that, his face darkened and he angrily shouted, "Little Took, is he really your boyfriend?" Meanwhile, Duong Van was thinking, "Damn, this guy is stubborn as a mule." Then Lai Took hugged the young man, pressing her chest against him. "That's right, he's my man." Seeing this, the pathetic teacher left in humiliation, cursing bitterly in his heart. "Lai Took, you wretched woman. It's your blessing that I, Liao Wenshua, have taken an interest in you. One day, I'll make you kneel down and beg me." Duong Van then cheerfully ran out and said, "Teacher Liao, don't leave so quickly. Let me see you off." "What the hell are you doing here?" "Nothing. I just want to advise you not to get any ideas about my girlfriend. If you do, I absolutely guarantee that you'll regret it." After hearing that, he broke out in a cold sweat and said, "Humph, are you threatening me? Then let me advise you too. If you don't leave Lai Took, then, as for little you's high school entrance exam, I can't guarantee whether she'll pass or not. You want to fight me? You're still far from qualified." Ha ha ha. Suddenly, our Duong Van grabbed the teacher by the neck and lifted him off the ground. "Whatever game you want to play, I can play along. But if you lay a hand on little you, I'll make sure you die without even leaving a corpse. Do you understand?" A while later, the teacher returned home, furious as if he had bitten into a chili pepper. Earlier, Duong Van had released him and said, "This is just a little warning. Now get lost. Don't let me, Duong Van, see you again. Just you wait, you bastard Duong Van." At Duong Van's place, little Noyet Na's eyes were sparkling with great interest. "Brother-in-law, what were you and Teacher Liao talking about just now? Why did it take so long?" He replied, "Oh, we were just chatting about life. By the way, why don't I see Sister Took anywhere?" Noyet Na. Oh, just now her face turned red and she ran back to her room. Hee hee. Damn, it turned out beautiful Lai Took was lying on her bed, bashfully recalling what had happened just now. What did I just say? I'm so embarrassed I could die. What should I do? This is so awkward. Suddenly, a group of street thugs arrived outside and shouted loudly, "Where is that bastard Duong Van? Get out here." Hearing this, he was also startled and looked out the window. "Why is it so noisy outside?" The pathetic teacher then cheerfully said, "Brother Hao, when that brat comes down later, greet him properly for me. Don't worry, since I've taken your money, the matter is already settled." After hearing that, the teacher gave an extremely sinister, nasty laugh. "After dealing with Duong Van, I'll make things difficult for Noyet Na. When that happens, Lai Took will definitely come beg me. Then I can do whatever I want. Ha ha ha." Then the teacher shouted loudly, "There he is. He's showing his face at the window." The moment the gangsters saw Duong Van's face, they shouted at the top of their lungs, "Damn, it's Brother Van." Then the boss slapped the pathetic teacher straight across the face. "Damn you, you nearly got me killed." The remaining lackeys started jumping around like lunatics. "The weather is so nice today." Haha. Our Duong Van stood there watching, completely unable to understand what was happening. What the hell? Have they all gone crazy? The scene shifted to the police station. At this moment, everyone was watching a large screen. A muscular tattooed man was grabbing another man by the neck. Beneath him was a pile of people stacked up like a mountain. "Trash like you dares to block me? You think far too highly of yourselves. I am an ancient martial artist." At that moment, the police chief slammed his hand on the table and said, "As you can see, this murderer calls himself an ancient martial artist. Over the past 3 days, a series of cases caused by him has occurred. In my view, we need to focus on handling this case. Tomorrow night, a group will gather at the 666 bar. He may make a move. All police personnel will blend into the crowd. The documents on the table are the suspect's information. The suspect's alias is Scarface Blade." After hearing that, everyone said, "That's a long scar. He's not as handsome as me. You're ugly as a dog." Over here, Ing Quan thought to herself, "An ancient martial artist, huh?" Then the police chief added, "In addition, young women have continuously been going missing in the city. I suspect he is behind that as well." At a half-finished construction site, a girl was crying her eyes out and begging, "Please let me go. I'm begging you." Seeing this, a muscular man grabbed her head and gave an extremely nasty smile. Keep struggling. I like it." Then policewoman Ing Quan dragged two flustered men along as she ran madly somewhere. Sister Ing, where are we going in such a hurry? Shut up. Just follow me and you'll know. At the same time, she was thinking, if my guess is correct, then he must be connected to the ancient martial artist. But where should I find him? All right, that restaurant. At Lai Tuk's restaurant, 3 curvy girls in pink outfits with animal ears were still warmly welcoming customers. Welcome, dear guests. The 2 young men over here watched with drooling faces, not even blinking. I really want to stay here forever. Honestly, no matter how you look at it, this is an incredibly beautiful view. Haha. Lai Tuk immediately knocked both of them hard on the head. You two, hurry up and get to work. The 2 young men instantly ran off as if chased by ghosts. Ow, that hurts. We're going right now. Suddenly, the 3 police officers pushed the door open with a bang and shouted deafeningly, "Where is Duong Van? Is Duong Van here?" At that moment, Lai Tuk was frightened and had no idea what was going on. Duong Van also ran over to watch the commotion. Unexpectedly, he was handcuffed with a click right then and there. Damn, are you fans kidding me? Then In Kwon took out a wanted poster and said, "You are currently a suspect. Come back with me for questioning immediately." He replied, "Are you out of your mind? At least say something that makes sense. No matter how you look at it, that guy doesn't look like me. On what grounds are you arresting me?" In Kwon immediately pressed close to his face. On these grounds, Lai Tuk then ran over to stop them. There must be a misunderstanding. Duong Van, he couldn't possibly. Suddenly, our Duong Van spoke. "Okay, Fine, I can help you catch him and prove that I'm innocent." Sometime later, at a large party in a luxurious restaurant, In Kwon said, "Judging from the motive, the victims are mainly the chairman of major groups. Tonight, the chairman of the Chi-Chi group will come here. The culprit will definitely make a move. We will disguise ourselves and protect this place." Our Duong Van asked in return, "Shouldn't we prepare for every possibility? What if he doesn't show up?" She answered domineeringly, "If he doesn't come, that means you tipped him off. You'd better get ready to go to prison in his place." After hearing that, he turned purple with anger and said to the young man beside him, "Look at her face. How can she even say such nonsense?" The young man beside him froze like a pool cue, not knowing what to say. Then an old man spoke up. "Now, please welcome the chairman of the Yang group to give a speech. Thank you all for attending my Yang family's evening banquet tonight. I sincerely thank everyone for your trust and long-term cooperation with the Yang group. That is why I am here today. Once again, thank you very much." Next, our Duong Van dashed straight into the restroom. "Damn it, I drank too much soda. I'd better pee first, then think about the rest." In Kwon did not see the young man anywhere and became extremely anxious. "Damn it, where did Duong Van go?" The bearded old man continued. "I also hope everyone here can support our group and develop together with us." Suddenly, the killer was on the rooftop, aiming at the old man, giving the speech below. His face looked unbelievably sinister and cunning. Then the power suddenly went out, and everything became pitch black. Everyone immediately panicked and screamed. "Oh my God, why did the power suddenly go out? Who touched my butt? I'm really sorry. How embarrassing. This is bad. He has appeared." Everyone was suddenly startled. "Damn, what is that light?" A young man was shining a flashlight straight into his own face for some unknown reason. Then, all of a sudden, a piercing scream rang out. Help me. What happened? This is bad. Something happened to the chairman." It turned out that the killer had rushed in and attacked the bearded old man. The red-haired In Kwon immediately ordered in anger, "It's him. Hurry and catch him." Then the killer smashed through the glass door with a loud crash and flew straight outside. In Kwon immediately chased after him in a panic. Tion, you two stay here and handle the scene. Call an ambulance. Everyone else, follow me." Our Duong Van also finished peeing and walked out, not understanding what had happened. Has that woman gone crazy or something? In Kwon charged forward like a wild beast. "I must catch him. This is my only chance." After chasing him for a while, the killer reached the rooftop. She immediately pulled out her gun and shouted, "Put your hands up. You're under arrest." The killer replied gleefully, "Ha, I've achieved my goal. If you want to wipe out a bunch of rats, the best way is to make them gather in one group. Don't you agree?" Hearing that, the red-haired In Kwon was shocked. What do you mean by that?" Suddenly, he rushed in to attack like lightning. "This is bad. His target is us." The killer then unleashed countless deadly punches. Dozens of police officers were struck and sent flying in every direction. In Kwon also angrily raised her gun, about to pull the trigger. Suddenly, a hidden weapon shot straight at her hand, causing the gun to fall to the ground. At that moment, she was horrified, as if struck by lightning. Then the killer rushed over and smashed both hands down with a heaven-shaking blow. In-Kwon reacted quickly and dodged it. She immediately leapt high, circled behind him, and prepared a counterattack. The killer suddenly grabbed her leg in a firm grip. "You damn insects. There are some people you can't afford to provoke." At that moment, In-Kwon was held upside down by one leg. "You, let me go right now." He seemed to notice something, and his face twisted into an extremely wicked, lecherous smile. "Ha ha ha. Looking closely, you're not bad at all." Then he grabbed her clothes and tore them open brutally. Suddenly, someone's hand shot in. It turned out that our Duong van had arrived in style, grabbing his hand to stop him and saying, "Hey you, that's not allowed. You've crossed the line, man." The muscular killer was startled out of his wits. He immediately leapt backward. "Damn it." He approached me silently again. "Is he also an ancient martial artist?" Duong Van replied coolly. "Are all ancient martial artists this shameless?" Then he tossed his jacket to In-Kwon behind him. She was using her hands to cover what needed to be covered. "Here were my jacket. You got quite the assets." In-Kwon immediately replied, Did you see everything?" The killer then said, "Could you be someone for the Adjudication Council?" "The Adjudication Council? So that's what it is. Looks like you're not the person I'm looking for." Hearing that, the muscular killer flew into a rage. He charged forward like a ferocious beast. "You dare toy with me? No matter who you are, beat me first before you talk." But our Duong Van immediately turned around. He struck the killer with an unbelievably powerful punch, shaking heaven and earth. The ground cracked open in a huge fissure. At that moment, the killer's face was covered in blood, looking utterly miserable. Duong Van then said with ridiculous coolness, "I thought you were something impressive. Turns out you're just trash." On the other side, In-Kwon's eyes went wide, and she was completely shaken. Damn, he defeated him in one strike again. This young man really is extraordinary. Then a group of police officers holding guns rushed up to provide backup. Sister Ing, are you all right?" Yes, I'm fine. Everyone, don't worry. Chief, the criminal has been captured." "Good. This mission was completed excellently. I'll definitely report it to the higher-ups and have everyone rewarded." Seeing In-Kwon glancing around, searching for Duong Van, the chief asked, "In-Kwon, what are you looking for?" In-Kwon widened her eyes and replied, "Chief, today we caught the suspect thanks to a young man." "Oh, who is he?" "He's already gone. I'll thank him another day." Our Duong Van was walking away leisurely while thinking, the misunderstanding has been resolved. I should go home. At In-Kwon's side, she thought this credit should still belong to him. The old man who had been attacked earlier was looking toward In-Kwon. He had only injured his hand. At that moment, his gaze looked extremely sinister and cunning. "Everything is over, so I should head back." On his way home, our Duong Van spotted a pink-haired girl who looked very familiar to him from before. She was walking into a Starbucks cafe. That bat, could it be her? Then he also went inside to take a look. He sat nearby and watched her quietly. The pink-haired girl ordered several glasses of liquor in a row and drank until she was completely drunk. Her cheeks were flushed red, and she collapsed onto the table, pressing her chest out of shape. Suddenly, 3 ugly, shabby-looking creeps walked over to hit on her. "Beauty, why are you so sad? How about letting us have a drink with you?" She glared at them and replied with 2 words, "Get lost." The man had no sense of shame at all. "Oh, you're pretty cold. I like you already. Like my foot. I told you to get lost. Are your ears just there for decoration? Why are you so stubborn?" As she spoke, she splashed a glass of liquor right into his face. The man became furious, as if he had bitten into a chili pepper, and grabbed her hand angrily. "It's your blessing that I even took a liking to you, and you still don't know what's good for you." As soon as he finished speaking, Duong Van's punch smashed straight into his face. The man flew more than 10 meters backward and crashed into the other 2 men, knocking all of them flat on their faces. It was truly unbelievable. The pink-haired girl's eyes went wide in utter surprise, while our Duong Van's eyes shone with terrifying killing intent. "Hurry up and get lost. Don't make me angry. I'm a little tired." Then he walked outside without saying anything else. The pink-haired girl immediately ran after him and called out, "Duong Van, stop right there. You came back, so why didn't you come find me? You clearly know how hard I've searched for you over these 10 years. I didn't know where you had gone, and the people at home wouldn't tell me either. What exactly happened? They simply decided on another marriage arrangement for me. Don't you think that's strange?" As soon as you left, they forced me to marry someone else. What they wanted was a political marriage, and they only saw you as a sacrifice. I believe there's no way you knew nothing about this. Duong Van, are you really so heartless that you can watch your fiancée become someone else's wife? After hearing that, our Duong Van recalled everything that had happened before. Memories of the beautiful romance between him and her, like something out of a love story, suddenly came flooding back. Along with all the times Duong Van had punched the mouths off the guys who dared compete with him for his girl. Then he replied coldly, Van Tien, the Duong Van from back then is already dead. If you're really that heartless, then why did you help me just now? Suddenly, someone walked over and said, Miss, the master and madam have something to discuss with you. Please come back with us. Also, if you walk with a stranger on the street like this, it will lead to unnecessary rumors. We still hope you will come back with us. Van Tan immediately replied angrily, Get lost. Go back and tell my father that I will not marry that scumbag surnamed Duong. Hearing that, the man immediately grabbed her hand and tried to drag her away. Miss Lam, please show some respect to our young master. Let go of me. Don't touch me. Our Duong Van then walked toward the car. One kick from him sent all four wheels flying off. It was absurdly unbelievable. Looks like your car's axles are a bit loose. The men in suits immediately turned pale with fright. Damn it, are you kidding me? Then our Duong Van grabbed Van Tien's hand, pulled her away, and said, I'm her friend. It's better if I take her home. You bastard, stop right there. Our Duong Van immediately turned back and glared, releasing killing intent like a terrifying flame. Shut your filthy mouths. Even if I killed all of you, Duong then wouldn't dare say a word. Get lost. The man in the suit's mouth gaped open like a fish, terrified to the extreme. He stammered, Quick, hurry and report this to the young master. The scene changed to the restaurant of the beautiful Lai Tuk. The female employees had already finished work. Goodbye, boss. See you tomorrow. All right, everyone worked hard. Be careful on your way home. Suddenly, Lai Tuk noticed something. A white car had stopped in front of her restaurant, and Duong Van and Van Tien got out. Aren't you going to invite me in to sit? He replied, You're going home so late. Aren't you afraid your parents will worry? Not at all. You even beat up Duong Then's men, so why worry about something like that? Right now, you should be more worried that Duong then will come looking for trouble with you. Suddenly, our Lai Tuk stepped out and said, Duong Van, you're back? Did they make things difficult for you? He replied, Sister Tuk, it wasn't anything major. It's been handled. Lai Tuk's eyes widened as she looked at Van Tien. Van Tien also looked back at her with a sharp gaze. Then the two women froze for what felt like 100 seconds, staring at each other. Our Duong Van was trembling like a leaf. The scene shifted to a nearby forest. Someone was flying along at incredible speed. It turned out that a white-haired girl was being chased by several black-clothed thugs. One of them held a sharp metal weapon and shouted loudly, Lord Thousand-Faced Fox Venerable, surrender now. She glared back and replied, Humph, you think mere small fry like you can capture me? Back at our Duong Van's place. Van Tien had actually been invited into the house. Little Noyet, Na saw Duong Van return and immediately ran out with a bright smile. Brother-in-law, where did you go? And who is this sister? Finding it strange, Van Tien asked, brother-in-law. Lai Tuk immediately knocked Noyet Na on the head and said, Don't mind her. My little sister doesn't know any better. It's fine. I'm Duong Van's friend. Our Duong Van then said, You two haven't eaten dinner yet, right? I'll go make a few dishes for you. Van Tien replied, My parents are looking for me. I have to go back. Oh, okay. Then be careful on your way. Then Van Tien got into the car and left. Lai Tuk said, She's the current president of the Lam Group. She's as beautiful in person as she is on TV. I never expected her to be your friend. Duong Van replied, Yes, she's an old acquaintance. It's all something from many years ago. At that moment, Van Tien sat in the car on the way back, her expression gloomy. I never expected that he would. Early the next morning, our Duong Van woke up early and cooked with incredible skill. Kienan walked in, discovered it, and was so shocked his jaw nearly dropped. Damn it, I thought that guy would be like me and just do odd jobs. I never expected him to actually know how to cook. I thought this food was made by manager Lai Tuk. It's ridiculously delicious. Finding it strange, Lai Tuk asked the young man, Kienan, what's wrong with you? The young man replied dejectedly, Oh, nothing. I just feel a little hurt. Manager, I'll go take out the trash. Thanks for your hard work. While taking out the trash in boredom, Kienan suddenly discovered something. It turned out to be a man who had fainted in front of the restaurant, lying face down on the ground in a miserable state. Kienan immediately carried him inside and said anxiously, Manager, this person was lying outside, barely breathing. It looks like he's not going to make it. Goodness, what happened? Hurry and help him lie down. He's very weak and needs nutrition. There's emergency medicine in the cabinet over there. Hurry and bring it here. Our Duongven then walked out and said, what happened? He is... A while later, the young man suddenly woke up. Good, he's awake. The young man looked around blankly, like a frightened deer. Where is this? Who are you people? I'm very sorry. I accidentally dirtied your shop's table. I'll wipe it clean right away. Please don't take offense. I'll leave immediately. At that moment, the young man was trembling like a drenched chicken. Suddenly, our Duongvan called out, Sixth Senior Brother, do you still remember me? He immediately turned in shock. Your little Van. This is wonderful. Junior brother, you're all right. Just as he was about to rush over, the senior brother somehow collapsed face first. Duong Van immediately helped him up and asked worriedly, Sixth Senior Brother, how did you end up like this? The senior brother then recounted, 3 years ago, you killed someone from the Adjudication Council, and the Adjudication Council schemed to capture you. Master led our entire sect to the Adjudication Council to demand your release. After that, the Adjudication Council found a group of mysterious people. They were incredibly powerful. Countless members of our sect were killed, and my cultivation was completely destroyed, turning me into a cripple. For the past 3 years, I've lived no differently from a rat, hiding everywhere to avoid the eyes and ears of the Adjudication Council. Hearing this, Duong Van asked in shock, then where did that mysterious group come from? I don't know. Even now, there are still no clues. Master risked his life to help me escape from that place, and he repeatedly warned me that my strength was not enough. So he forbade me from seeking them out for revenge. Hearing that, Duong Van's eyes widened. He clenched his fists and replied angrily, Senior brother, don't worry. I will definitely find those people and take revenge for everyone. Sometime later, a newspaper seller shouted loudly, Newspapers! Newspapers! Special edition. After reading it, everyone was extremely shocked and alarmed. Could something like this really have happened? Mayor, this is bad. Today, all the newspapers are reporting what happened last night. The people outside are all discussing it heatedly. The red-haired mayor replied calmly, I already know. The election campaign is about to begin, yet something like this happened. This is very disadvantageous for you, Mayor. I'll immediately handle those reporters and make them shut their mouths. The newspaper was reporting today's Golden Cloud City news. Breaking news. The mayor has failed the trust of the people. The security team failed to fulfill its duties, leading to the one scarred man's escape. Chairman Duong Vin Tin of the Electrical Appliances Group has met with disaster. Chairman Vin Tin was leisurely drinking tea, clearly delighted. Beside him was a purple-haired woman with long, striking legs. At that moment, he revealed a sinister smile and said, Ha, I'm one step closer to my goal. That night at Duong Van's home, he was sending his senior brother off and said, Senior brother, will we meet again? Why don't you stay here for a few more days before leaving? His senior brother replied, I still have things to do. I can't stay any longer. On the contrary, little Van, I feel I can trust you now. I'm very happy too. Back then, you clearly only caused trouble for me, yet in the blink of an eye you've grown so much. You can shoulder responsibility on your own now. All right, see you later. Duong Van watched him go with eyes full of affection. Then he recalled his childhood. Back then, his senior brother was extremely strict. Your posture is wrong. Again, plant your feet more firmly. Don't move. He made Duong Van hold a horse stance, and beneath his backside were countless incense sticks burning red hot. Wow, this is too hard. Then his plump senior sister rubbed his head and smiled brightly. Take a little rest. Senior sister, senior brother, is way too much. You're still the best to me. That senior brother immediately snapped back in anger. You rotten brat, you still dare blame me? Believe it or not, I'll spank you. Duong Van fell in a deep thought. Damn it, the ancient Martial Adjudication Council. Sooner or later, I, Duong Van, will destroy your Adjudication Council. But even an expert like Master couldn't deal with them. They definitely aren't just a small group. With my current strength, I'm only at the 4th level of the formless armor art. I'm still too weak. Suddenly, he discovered a group of people flying swiftly overhead like birds. Damn, I never expected so many experts to appear in Golden Cloud City. The white-haired masked girl was still being pursued by the black-clothed men. At that moment, she was startled to discover that another group had already been waiting ahead of her. Lord Thousand-Faced Fox Venerable, you won't escape. She answered in a firm voice. With just the likes of you? Stop overestimating yourselves. Suddenly, a hidden weapon slashed across her body. You've been struck by Lord Rose's 9 rose powder. Even if you still have 1/10 of your power left now, you won't be able to escape. Did you think we would still fear you? The whole group charged at her from every direction. The thousand-faced fox was no pushover either. She dodged in every possible way. Suddenly, one of them landed a fatal punch on her. Although she raised her hand to block it, she still coughed up blood, and her mask shattered into countless pieces. Ha ha, so your strength only amounts to this. So, this is the true face of the legendary Lord Thousand-Faced Fox Venerable, the face no one has ever seen. To be able to see it today, we brothers can consider our horizons broadened. What a pity, though. The organization has ordered us to kill you. The Fox Venerable angrily replied. You work for that damned organization. Sooner or later, you'll end up just like me. One of the bastards laughed loudly and answered, What a shame. We won't be as stupid as you. Besides, we still have the Adjudication Council backing us. Hee hee. Rose immediately cursed. Shut your mouth. Are you an idiot? It's fine. She won't live much longer anyway. Even so, it's better to be cautious. Suddenly, Duong Van strode over coolly and said, Just now, did you mention the ancient Martial Adjudication Council? Answer me immediately. Rose grew nervous and thought to himself. This man appeared silently. Is he an expert? Duong Van continued, You're not talking? Looks like you really are connected to the Adjudication Council. Perfect. I have something I want to ask you. At that moment, one of them suddenly tried to attack him. Duong Van instantly grabbed his head and smashed him down hard into the ground. The ground cracked into pieces, and that man departed for his final resting place. When the others saw this, their faces turned dark, and they were scared stiff. What the hell? How is that possible? Duong Van then glared at them fiercely and asked, Where is the Adjudication Council's lair? Immediately, the whole group charged at him together. This guy is dangerous. Kill him first. One of them grabbed Duong Van's clothes. Duong Van moved as fast as lightning, stirring up dust everywhere. In the blink of an eye, his fist was about to smash straight into Rose's head. Before Rose could react, Duong Van punched his mouth bloody. Since you refuse to talk, you won't have another chance to speak. Die, all of you. After that, Duong Van unleashed a frenzy of techniques, punching and kicking in every possible way. The whole bunch of useless trash ended up sprawled across the ground. Sweating heavily, Rose said to the men beside him, If we stay any longer, we're finished. We're no match for this guy. Hurry and run. Then one of them took out 4 pellets of some kind and threw them straight toward Duong Van. Duong Van noticed and was suddenly startled. A loud explosion rang out, and white smoke rose as high as a building. Duong Van immediately brushed off his hands and walked out angrily. You bastards, what kind of trick was that? Suddenly, he discovered that the whole gang of bastards had already fled without a trace. Damn it, I let them get away again. This is infuriating. The thousand-faced fox, short of breath, then spoke. Thank you for saving me. May I ask my benefactor's great name? When Duong Van turned around, he was utterly shocked. Miss Phuong Deep. Hearing this, she glared at him. She instantly retreated more than 10 meters, leaving him completely confused. Then she shouted angrily, Stay away from me. You even know my name? Which side are you from? Duong Van calmly answered, Does that matter? The urgent thing right now is that if you don't stop the bleeding, you'll die. Don't come any closer. Stubborn as ever, he rushed toward her in a flash. By then, Phuong Deep had already fainted. Duong Van carried her and prepared to treat her wounds. She can still be saved. You have to hold on, understand? The scene shifted to a rather large house. Inside, a blond man was using a cane whip to continuously lash the backsides of 2 girls, torturing them with extreme cruelty. The 2 girls screamed terribly. Young master, please spare me. The vile young master was extremely delighted. Scream louder. I love it. Keep screaming. Young master, please don't. I beg you. I can't take it anymore. These pleas are truly intoxicating. They make it impossible to stop. You pigs, twist around for me. Suddenly, he lashed out with an especially powerful strike. The girl's eyes rolled back, and she fainted on the spot. What? They're all dead? Where are you? Take them away and throw them out. Yes, young master. By the way, young master, about that matter concerning Miss Lamb. After his subordinate recounted what had happened earlier, the young master shouted, Damn it, what did you say? Damn useless trash. You couldn't even bring back 1 person. Then he angrily beat his underlings half to death. A bunch of good-for-nothings. You can't accomplish anything. Damn it, no one can take away what I want. That includes the beautiful Lamb Van. A while later, Duong Van hurried home, carrying Phuong Deep. Sister Took, help me with something. This person is injured. Hurry and find some bandages. We need to treat her wounds first. Then he carried her into the room and placed her on the bed. After checking her over, he discovered a rose-shaped mark on her thigh, surrounded by dark bruises. Oh no, this is rose powder. A person poisoned by this will have their body completely ruined. If the poison isn't removed, their whole body will rot away and they'll die after 7 days. The person who did this was truly ruthless. Judging by her condition, I'm afraid she won't survive tonight. I have to use that method. At that moment, Phuong Deep broke out in cold sweat and groaned miserably in pain. No, don't. Then Lai Tuk walked in and witnessed an extremely shocking scene. Her face flushed red, and she turned away. Duong Van, what are you doing? It turned out that he was using his mouth to suck the poison out for Phuong Deep. She twisted around in every direction, crying out like a primary school student sounding out words. It hurts so much. Please stop. Wait, something seems off. Weren't we watching a martial arts story? Hee. Seeing this, Lai Tuk was utterly horrified, her face dark with embarrassment as she didn't dare look. The next morning, Phuong Deep opened her eyes. She was startled to discover that beneath her were bloodstains left from Duong Van sucking out the poison for her, but she mistook them for something else. This time, the young man was doomed. Outside, Duong Van was chatting with Lai Tuk. That's how it happened. I didn't mean to hide it from you, Sister Tuk. So that's how it was. I understand. I believe you. Thank you, Sister Tuk. Suddenly, Phuong Deep slammed the door open. Duong Van, still innocent and unaware of what had happened, greeted her. Good morning. I didn't expect your wounds to heal so quickly. The clothes fit well, too. As soon as he finished speaking, Phuong Deep rushed over, aiming a fatal kick at him. He quickly dodged backward. Damn it, what is wrong with this woman? Why attack me all of a sudden? Then Phuong Deep struck him with an enraged dragon kick. You scumbag Dai, today I must kill you. You took advantage of me while I was weak and left an unforgettable humiliation on my body. You dared ruin my purity. I'll kill you. After hearing that, Duong Van was completely dumbfounded and had no idea what was going on. Then Phuong Deep charged at him wildly again. This won't do. I have to stop her first, then explain. The scene shifted to a nearby street. The muscular assassin from before was running somewhere, his face extremely furious. Fine, I never expected I would actually fail. Duong Vin Tin, now that things have developed like this, that little commission won't be enough to settle it. Earlier, he had accepted money from Duong Vin Tin. Here is half of the commission. After the job succeeds, I'll pay double. All right, excellent. Just wait and see how I wreak havoc then. I look forward to your achievements. At that moment, he gnashed his teeth in anger. Damn it, who could have expected some meddler to jump out halfway? I've lost all face this time. Suddenly, another man appeared and spoke. Well, man, so you're here. Number 1347. How far have you gotten with your plan? Two masked men in white and black, wrapped up like terrorists, looked extremely intimidating. The assassin shuddered and asked you, who are you? The black-clothed man's eyes turned blood red, and he smiled like a demon, terrifyingly sinister. A while later, at Duong Van's place, Phuong Deep had understood everything and bowed her head to apologize to him. I am truly, deeply sorry. It was all because I didn't pay attention to my own condition, causing trouble for all of you. Duong Van, beaten black and blue with his face swollen like a bun, replied, Yeah, it's good that you understand. If you hadn't, you probably would have wrecked the whole city. It turned out Phuong Deep had smashed everything in the house. Lai Tuk then spoke. I was the one who helped you change your clothes. Last night, Duong Van risked his life to suck out the poison for you. He didn't do anything bad. I can testify to that. On the contrary, to let you rest and recover at ease. Duong Van even went to sleep in the front room by himself. Duong Van was still aching from the beating earlier. Ouch! Did you have to hit that hard? Phuong Deep then blushed shyly and answered, Tage, thank you. After hearing that, Duong Van shouted so loudly it hurt the ears. That's such a reluctant thank you. Are you really thanking me or not? I'm so moved I could cry. Phuong Deep immediately argued back. Then what do you want from me? I already thank you, and you're still not satisfied? A person like you really is strange. Just looking at you makes me angry. Lai Tuk watched the two childish youngsters argue and smiled happily. Then her expression darkened, and she thought to herself, how strange. Since when did I have this heavy feeling in my heart that refuses to fade? This feeling is probably... The scene shifted to two police officers. The two were strolling down the street, chatting casually. Tell me, how did Scar Blade suddenly disappear? Now that you mention it, it really is strange. The companions keeping watch didn't notice anything at all. Doesn't this mean we worked for nothing? Maybe this matter isn't that simple. Suddenly, the two men saw a strange sight. It turned out that the muscular assassin was stuck in a wall, leaving an enormous hole. The two mysterious men from earlier had already left the scene quickly. Is this really all right? Hurry and bring him back. This has become troublesome for me. Someone like him shouldn't deserve to live in this world. Instead of bringing him back and locking him up, it would be better to finish him off. Right here, you should feel grateful. At least I let him leave peacefully. This could be considered very merciful of me. Suddenly, someone arrived and said, I think you may have misunderstood the word merciful. As always, you act alone. Team leader, the black-clothed man said, since you've come here, that means the other side has already begun their operation. Compared to that, what makes people even more curious is where you've been during this period. Team leader, you people are really strange. Officials may set fires, but commoners aren't allowed to light lamps. Of course, I went out to have fun. Right now, the entire situation is developing according to that side's expectations. At this point, the final great transformation isn't far away. The blonde woman asked, you don't plan to stop them? That isn't something we should do. We don't even have the right to interfere. So there's no breakthrough point in this matter? The black-clothed man smiled brightly and replied, who knows what will happen? The scene shifted back to Duong Van's place. He and Phuong Deep were staring at each other. How many times have I told you? I really don't know. How could you not know? You're lying. There aren't many people in this world who know my name. Although you are my life-saving benefactor, this is the one thing I must understand clearly. After hearing that, Duong Van's face darkened, sweat soaking his armpits as he thought, damn it, what should I do? How can I tell her that I just got lucky by accident, and that a long time ago, on one particular day, I saw her bathing and noticed that her name was tattooed on her back? Of course I can't. There's no way I can say that. What should I do? At that moment, Phuong Deep glared at him fiercely and said, what exactly do you know? Actually, your name is very similar to my childhood sweetheart's name. Her name was Phuong Deep. When I saw you, I couldn't help but think of her. Phuong Deep actually believed him, unbelievably enough. Oh, is that so? They sound alike? I'm terribly sorry for making you recall unpleasant memories. He gave a dry smile and replied, hee, it's fine. That was a long time ago. At the same time, he thought, she believed that way too quickly. Children really are easy to fool. She scared me half to death just now. I need to leave immediately. Then the beautiful Phuong Deep lowered her head and said, Duong Van, I am truly grateful that you saved me. Because of certain matters, I cannot drag you all into this. I owe you a favor. In the future, if anything happens, just say the word. Even if it costs me my life, I will accomplish it. That's too serious. In that case, if fate allows, we'll meet again. Farewell. Goodbye. After Phuong Deep left, he thought to himself, one of Blood Soul's 4 great war generals, the thousand-faced fox Venerable. Does she want to use one person's strength to oppose Blood Soul? Phuong Deep. Meanwhile, at policewoman DM Twin's side, she had ordered people to take the muscular assassin away for investigation. What kind of terrifying power is this? Who did this? The break starts from here. It looks as if a car crashed into him, but in such a narrow space. Could he have collided with another person? Then a young man hurried over. Captain, this is unbelievable. Speak. What happened? The scene shifted to Duong Van. He and Kien Nin were carrying things back. Kien Nin, hurry up. Sister Took is still waiting for us to go back to work. Kien Nin answered, I'm thinking about that too. When I woke up this morning, I felt really sore. The young man then turned to him with a face as stiff as a pole and said that although he knew it was the weekend and he should endure it, he should still pay some attention to himself. Kien Nin, his face pale, replied, Thanks for your concern, but please put away that disgusting expression. Then our Duong Van noticed that many young men seemed to be crowding around to watch something. What was going on? Everyone's faces were filled with utter horror. When Duong Van looked over, he discovered that blood was dripping down from someone who had been hanged. His eyes rolled wide in disbelief, because the person hanging there was none other than his senior brother. Duong Van immediately let out a terrifying scream. Kien Nin, standing beside him, was also so horrified that he could not speak. Who was it? Who on earth was it? Then Duong Van heard a strange sound. An ancient martial artist appeared. A purple-haired girl was hurriedly walking away. Our Duong Van immediately chased after her. His face darkened as he asked, Hey, was it you? Without waiting for her to answer, he suddenly charged forward and struck. She was quick too, flipping away and dodging his attack. Why? Why would you do this? The purple-haired girl said. Why are you suddenly attacking me like this? Duong Van went mad and attacked furiously. What did he do wrong for a beast like you to strike so cruelly? Suddenly, Duong Van realized something. The girl had actually landed a sneak attack. Ow, these clothes are too tight. They're making me a little uncomfortable. Then the purple-haired girl asked, I don't understand why you're so angry. But as long as you are my enemy, I won't spare you. Duong Van then said, How can you be, Senior's sister? She glared at him and said, I could kill you, you know. Why are you here? Senior's sister, it's me. Senior's sister? You're a very strange person. One moment you're angry, and the next you're acting miserable. It's disgusting. After hearing that, our Duong Van's face darkened as he thought, why did she do this? Did she see it? She clearly saw it. How can she be so indifferent and unmoved? What should I do? Has she lost her memory? Senior sister, that can't be, can it? Could it be because she has married him and become his wife? Is it because of that? The purple-haired girl then turned away in confusion. What is wrong with you? Has the sun fried your brain? Duong Van said you saw it at the square. She asked back, that thing? It looked rather pitiful. But that dead man had no character at all. After hearing that, he clenched his fists and shouted, I'm asking you, how can you be like this? Why do you look as though it has nothing to do with you? That person was Senior Brother. What on earth happened to you, Senior Sister? Even if you came here, would you still be this heartless? She glared at him and remembered Dong Vin Tin's warning. Anyone who approaches you with hostility is an enemy. If they are enemies, there is no need to leave them alive. Do you understand? Suddenly, she charged forward and struck him with a critical blow. Caught off guard, he was sent flying straight into the wall with a crash. At that moment, he coughed up mouthfuls of blood. The purple-haired girl then turned away coldly and left. Hey, stop right there. Why? This ending, what exactly is going on? Sometime later, Duong Van woke up lying on a bed. Where is this? A girl immediately answered. You're awake? This is the hospital. You were unconscious for a long time. Luckily, we found you in time. Let me ask you, why did you collapse at the crime scene? The crime scene? Duong Van then remembered what had happened to his senior brother and immediately sat up. DM Twin quickly asked, Hey, where are you going? Right now, you still... Suddenly, our Duong Van noticed his bones cracking. He clutched his body in extreme pain. Ow, ow, why does it hurt so much? DM Twin said, You still want to cause trouble? You broke 5 ribs. The doctor said you must rest for at least half a year. After hearing that, he broke out in a cold sweat and thought, Damn it, Senior Sister, you really did want to kill me. Suddenly, 2 young men pushed open the door and rushed in. Sister DM, something happened again at Central Square just now. After hearing that, she was startled out of her wits. At the square right now, the scene was terrifying. Many corpses were hanging in midair, and below them, countless people were fleeing in panic. Oh my God, what the hell is going on? This is too frightening. Where are all the guards? DM Twin then rushed over in a panic. Our Duong Van also followed behind to see what was happening. Sister DM, wait for us. Why do we have to bring him along? How annoying. When DM Twin saw the horrifying scene, her mouth fell open, unable to believe her eyes. This is, damn it, this is a hanging wheel? The punishment of the ancient Martial Adjudication Council, hanging the murdered people high up, to form a cycle of reincarnation, displaying their power. How vicious. They have no humanity. This is too much, trampling on life like this. Scum, bastards, beasts. I will definitely arrest this criminal and bring him to justice. Then the crowd of foolish civilians grew extremely angry. Look, the police captain is here. Tell me, what can you people even do? You're all useless. Godi, you actually let them run wild like this. DM Twin grimaced and replied, Everyone, please calm down. We will investigate this as quickly as possible. I believe it won't be long before we find a murderer. Another group of people, burning with rage, said, You rely on your authority and throw your weight around all day. But now, standing here, you only stare in fear. At the critical moment, you're completely useless. Anyone can make promises, but in the end, what results have you produced? My husband said that today he would buy me a gift. I believed him, but the gift I received was him. He won't come back anymore. He won't come back anymore. Never again. Boo-hoo. How am I supposed to live now? Seeing this, DM Twin and our Duong Vin both grew somber, filled with grief. At the place where that damned young master was, he looked extremely delighted. This is a day that makes everyone so happy. You would never have imagined it. Splitting people into two halves and hanging them high up creates such a beautiful view. Fear gnaws at them as they keep wagging their tails and begging, just like hungry dogs. A blue-haired man then said, I didn't expect your pleasure to increase even further. I really have to look at you in a new light. The only regret is that we couldn't bring back that living warrior. He would have been a fine toy, right? Hunting dog. Damn, this guy really is a twisted pervert. Old Duong Vin Tin then said, the greatest contributor in this operation was the young master. It truly makes one admire you. I believe even women and children know the name of this wild dog. After hearing that, the blond man stepped forward and glared at him frighteningly. Do you want to die? I only heard it from others. The blond man then clapped his hands as a signal. Everyone worked hard in this operation. Suddenly, a man in black appeared and stepped out grandly, saying, for a long time, we hid underground, lurked in the shadows, and were bound by the law. But now, the overall situation has been settled. Everything is in our grasp. The era that belongs to us is about to arrive. After hearing this, everyone cheered wildly. Then the man in black asked, Duong Vin Tin, how is the matter I told you to investigate? He immediately knelt down and said, fortunately, I did not fail your lordship's expectations. Through this operation, we learned the location of the heavenly fallen energy source we have long awaited day and night. It has been safeguarded by generations of mayors of Golden Cloud City, and the mayor of this term is none other than Thursday Sovan, at the place of the red-haired mayor. He was looking out the window in deep thought. This is bad. Another storm is coming. The scene shifted to the purple-haired girl, our Duong Van's senior sister. At that moment, she felt very strange. Why? I have never met that man before, but seeing him like that made my heart ache. This is so strange. Then a girl walked in and spoke. Miss, it's time to take your medicine. Can I skip it? This medicine is very bitter. No, you cannot. This is all for your health. Master instructed that the medicine cannot be stopped. The purple-haired girl replied, okay, fine. By the way, miss, why are you crying? The next morning at the cemetery, Duong Van had built a grave for his senior brother. Senior sister is still the same as before, never holding back when she strikes. If I'm even slightly careless, she'll beat me until I can't lift my head. But I still don't understand what happened to her. I really can't understand it. I know she and that dead person must be connected, but I just cannot bring myself to strike her. Senior brother, I will bring senior sister back and ask her clearly. If she still keeps acting innocent, I absolutely will not forgive her, even if I have to fight her. The two police officers saw our Duong Van standing there for so long that they were getting bored. Do we have to wait here until he's done? This case is not ordinary. Right now, only Duong Van has a lead. He might know something. That's true. This guy is bizarre. I always feel like he's hiding some huge secret. Hey, where's Sister DM? At DM Twin's place. She was frantically going through documents, determined to investigate this case thoroughly. Captain, this is the latest surveillance footage from across the whole city. Thank you. She immediately ordered another man to play it. Speed up the playback. Faster, faster. Okay, stop. Go back to 12:32. Pause and zoom in. I need this person's information and all videos related to him as soon as possible. The bureau chief then walked in and said, it's very difficult to find a real person through video unless you go directly to him. Luckily, I know him. Please tell me his information. The bureau chief calmly replied, Little damn, I know you really want to find the criminal who killed those innocent people, but you can't speculate that everyone is a suspect. We must have evidence. DM Twin angrily replied, evidence won't deliver itself into our hands. It is something we have to work hard to find. I will suspect everyone who appeared at the crime scene and acted suspiciously, no matter who they are, until the real murderer is arrested. After hearing that, the bureau chief gave in completely. Fine, I really admit defeat. That man is called Duong then. He's a rich second-generation heir. Rumor has it he has strange hobbies, but those who associate with him don't seem disgusted by him. When investigating Little DM, you'd better be careful. Also, the mayor has already sent the Rian team into action. Huh, the Rian team? That's right. They're the finest armed troops in Golden Cloud City. With them there, I believe the situation will definitely improve. Earlier, a highly modernized armed unit, equipped with machine guns, helmets, armor, and all kinds of gear, had deployed. Ri and team, move out. You must complete the mission. The scene shifted to Lai Tuk. She was watching a news report on TV. This is the latest city report. Today, in the face of this sudden and painful incident, the citizens are deeply shocked. It is said that the mayor has dispatched the city's strongest elite force, the Rian team, into action. We believe the situation will improve. The beautiful Lai Tuk felt extremely worried. Duong Van, please don't let anything happen to you. You must be safe and sound. Suddenly, someone spoke. Hello, is anyone here? Delivery. Please sign for it. Finding it strange, she asked. I didn't order anything, but the address on this delivery is correct. Please sign for it. Okay, thank you. Looking at the box, she discovered that the recipient's information was Duong Van's. The scene shifted to the Rian team. A man was begging miserably, please spare my life. I swear I won't oppose you anymore. We were wrong. An evil muscular man was holding an axe and chopping down like he was cutting firewood. Spare me. I'll reveal the guard team's actions to you. I can even become an insider and help you. Then the soldier let out a loud scream and died on the spot, his body going cold. Another man sat on a huge pile of corpses, smoking leisurely. So noisy, even a friend can easily betray his companions. How can anyone trust someone like you? You must be killed. The orange-haired man then asked, Zhang Yu, how should we deal with these bodies? He replied, burn them. Huh, dragging things out like this will attract attention. It doesn't matter. Ancient warriors never fear challenges. Besides, the guy here is not someone just anyone can provoke. Ha ha ha. Then the foolish civilians flooded into the streets like a swarm, shouting terribly. Look at what our mayor is doing. When vicious and evil people were killing. Citizens, where were you? You promised to protect our families, but now you're hiding with your head buried. Now the murderous destroyer is still at large. Where does that leave us? Boo-hoo. Thursday, Sovan, you are not worthy of being mayor. You're not worthy, not worthy. Old Duong Vin Tin sat in a car, smoking a cigar and enjoying the scene immensely. At the mayor's place, a man was angrily shouting, damn them, I can't believe these people have forgotten your past contributions. They blindly turn around and bite back. How shameless, the bureau chief replied. If curses could solve problems, there would be no war in this world. The human heart is the most complicated thing in the world. Right now, we have many things to do. The most urgent matter is that we must organize a press conference immediately. At the place where the slime man stood behind them, he was secretly delighted. The foolish citizens have begun to panic. This is my best opportunity. The era of warriors is about to arrive. What needs to be done, my iron fist has long seen it. We can't pour cold water on this here. Crushing them would be a small matter, but is our observational ability only this much? The scene shifted to Lai Tuk. She looked at the package, frowning as she thought, would this be too rude? But I want to know what's inside. Then she opened it right away. Boohoo, Duong Van, please forgive me. If this continues, you will be in danger. Say no more. I have made up my mind. Our ultimate goal is, This is what kind of letter is this? No, if I keep going, it will be very impolite. Opening someone else's delivery without permission is immoral. Maybe I should wait for Duong Van to come back and hand it to him. Although I really want to read it. At DM Twin's place, she was startled and panicked. What? You lost him? Boo-hoo, it was just one small mistake. She immediately cursed them. Are you two pigs? I told you two to follow him at all times, and yet you worked like idiots. You even let him toy with you, and you were so dazed you couldn't control yourselves. Are you trying to go to heaven? Do you believe I'll shoot you? What are you standing there for? Hurry up and find him. The two of them immediately ran off in a panic. Duong Van was currently badly injured. Relying on the heavenly awakening art to recover a little, he could barely walk. Even so, as long as he moved, his whole body hurt so badly he felt like he was about to die. Senior sister, at that moment, did you really want to kill me? I don't believe you are a cold-blooded and heartless person. I must bring you back and ask clearly. However, right now, I have to recover as soon as possible. Oh, I ended up coming back without realizing it. I wonder if Sister Tuk cooked and is waiting for me to return. He was about to step inside when he suddenly stopped. Can I really do this? Next, I need to do something that might drag Sister Tuk into it. It might even put her life in danger. Would I harm her just to satisfy my own selfish desires? What? I really can't do it. Tuk is now cooking lots of delicious dishes inside. It has been a long time since she made this many dishes. When Duong Van comes back, he will definitely be very happy. Maybe he might even. Tuk was actually imagining him hugging her tightly. Sister Tuk, I love you. Then she covered her face shyly. Oh no, what kind of nonsense am I thinking? When he comes back, I still have to return that delivery package to him. Luckily, I know a little about packing things up. At the police station, 2 officers then said, "Can we really find the murderer based on these surveillance videos? If this gets out of hand, those people could crush us with money. Do you understand?" DM Twin angrily replied, "What I don't understand is what is wrong with you people." After investigating, Duong then is clearly suspicious. From the surveillance footage, we discovered that this person appeared repeatedly at each crime scene. He must be connected to this case. After hearing that, one officer replied, "DM Twin, I won't deny that your work ethic is truly admirable. But you have to understand that mobilizing people to arrest someone without solid evidence, I'm sure no one sitting here would agree to that. Besides, the Rian team has already been dispatched, and everything will have a good result." DM Twin slammed her hand on the table with a bang and stormed out angrily. "Fine then. I'll do it my way. Besides, this is not just work. A bunch of cowards." Suddenly, a girl ran over in a panic. Excuse me, are you Captain DM Twin?" DM Twin asked in confusion. "Who are you?" "Oh, thank goodness I found you. The appearance of the murderer, I discovered him." DM Twin hurriedly grabbed her shoulder and said, "Really? Please tell me everything." The girl in yellow replied, I was very scared at the time, so I hid. When he wasn't paying attention, I saw what the murderer looked like. I took a picture. This is his photo." After looking at it, DM Twin was completely shocked. The scene shifts to our Duong Van. At this moment, he went to find the blonde gang leader from before. "Hello, brother back." When the man saw him, he was terrified. "Aha, it's you again? What are you coming to me for? Haven't you hurt me enough already? Don't come over here. My brothers said I was useless and kicked me out of the Lamb gang. My woman abandoned me too. I have nothing left. What else do you want from me?" Lam Tu then said coldly, "I need your help with something. I heard that your words carry a lot of weight in this area, not inferior to anyone else's. I hope you can use your connections to help me. Find someone." How am I supposed to find someone? Can't you see what I'm like right now? I have no money. I've lost everything. Even my own woman was stolen by someone else. I don't have the time to help you. Go do it yourself." Duong Van patted his shoulder and said, "Are you willing to accept this? You run into a setback and want to give up? Is this really what you want?" After hearing that, Brother Back seemed fired up, looking extremely dangerous. Meanwhile, at Van Tien's place, she was trying on many sparkling outfits, glittering in all kinds of colors. A blonde girl saw this and sighed in admiration. Wow, these gowns are all so beautiful. Miss, which one will you wear to tomorrow night's birthday banquet?" Van Tien replied coldly, "Not a single one. Noyet Tan, throw all of these away." The blonde girl was stunned. What? In the future, whenever that scumbag Duong then sends gifts, throw them away and burn them all for me. "But miss, then you won't have a gown." Van Tien then put on a long-sleeve t-shirt right away. "Isn't it better if I wear this?" The blonde girl panicked. No. Who wears something like this to a birthday banquet? It's fine as long as I want to wear it." Van Tien then took out a pink shirt. As expected, it's still this one. Isn't this the one Mr. Duong gave you a long time ago? Miss still can't forget him. If only he could come. At Duong Van's side, Brother Back said, "What other choice do I have? A few days ago, that arrogant bastard suddenly came to my headquarters. Not only did he cripple my brothers, he even stole my woman. He said that if I didn't give him the leader's position, he would kill my brothers. What could I do? Do you think I'm Ip Man, able to fight 10 people by myself? Forget it. I'm very weak now." Hearing this, Duong Van was completely confused. What kind of personality does this guy even have? How about this? Let's make a deal. I'll help you drive those guys away, and then you help me find someone. Deal. After hearing that, Brother Back was shocked and thought to himself, right, I almost forgot that this Duong Van guy can fight. Looking at it this way, there's hope. Then he smiled brightly and said, "Oh my, Brother Van, I was really muddle-headed. Luckily, you reminded me. When the time comes, you have to look after me." Suddenly, Duong Van collapsed face first on the ground. What the hell? What is this? What happened to him? After that, Brother Back carried Duong Van on his back, exhausted beyond belief. "Tell me, what kind of sin did I commit to run into an ill-omened star like you?" I'm clearly the victim. Yet you're making me feel guilty like I'm the bad guy. Hey, don't suddenly die on me. I still want you to help me take back my position. What's with suddenly collapsing? I'm so tired, I don't even want to talk. Meanwhile, DM Twin asked, did you find him? The two police officers scratched their heads awkwardly and replied, we lost him. We're really sorry. Logically speaking, with injuries like that, even standing up should be difficult, but that Duong Van ran so fast. Is he a monster? He suddenly had many injuries from physical force on his body. No matter how you think about it, it feels strange. During the previous incident with the Lamb Gang, I thought it was just an ordinary brawl. But when I questioned them afterward, every one of them cried out, that guy is a devil. I never want to see him again. I want to go home. After hearing that, the officer's face turned pale. Damn, that really is insane. But Duong Van took down more than 50 people in 30 seconds. In short, Duong Van is now a suspect. And now, I need to verify the truth. Alright, come with me. Earlier, DM Twin had seen a photo of a blonde pervert viciously grabbing someone by the neck. If my guess is correct, tomorrow is the birthday of Lam Van Tien, the female president of the Lam Corporation. All the famous and wealthy families will be invited to the banquet. What we need to do is sneak into this banquet and investigate Lam Van Tien and her fiancé, Duong Van. After that, our Duong Van woke up. You're awake? Ow, it still hurts. Looking around, he discovered that brother back's home was truly dirt poor. The man then said, if you want to laugh, laugh. I don't have anything left that I can pawn. Finding it strange, Duong Van asked, what are you doing? I'm sorting these waste bottles. One glass bottle can be sold for 1 yuan. I just collected these earlier. Tonight's dinner is settled. Hearing that, Duong Van nearly lost it. Damn, this many? Right? You said before that you wanted to help me, didn't you? You weren't just joking, were you? Duong Van replied, as long as you agree to help me find someone, I, Duong Van, will do what I say. Is this person very important to you? Yes, he is my family. I can't abandon him and ignore him. Brother Back asked, then do you have a photo of him? Our Duong Van tried describing the person to him. Damn, wearing white clothes, a woman with purple hair. A purple-haired woman. Suddenly, Brother Back remembered someone. The next day, he brought him to a place. Here, this is the place. Duong Van asked, are you sure she is here? Yes, you don't need to worry about that. I'll guarantee it with my life. I saw with my own eyes that a purple-haired woman followed Duong Vin Tin inside. They are probably planning to attend a birthday banquet. A birthday banquet? You really know a lot. Brother Back replied, should I say it's luck or not? That woman came with the group inside to seize the Lamb Gang's territory. She is also the senior sister you want to find. As for that, I wasn't willing to be driven out, so I followed their movements all the way to this building. Duong Van then asked, are you sure you didn't recognize the wrong person? I can't be wrong. I don't like listening to rumors. I only believe in the facts I see with my own eyes. At the same time, he thought to himself, he doubts me? This must be something very important, so I can't blame him. Let's see how he deals with those bastards. On this side, Duong Van was thinking. After all, that person is someone he has been following. The information is very important to him, so this should be reliable. Then Brother Back was about to leave. Duong Van spoke up. Where are you going? I need you to come with me to verify this. If it is true, I will definitely stand up for you and deal with all of them. After hearing that, Brother Back was startled. Damn, those are some bold words. Outside, the crowd was still shouting noisily. Thursday. So Van, you cowardly turtle, get down here. You earned our trust, so how do you still have the face to stand there? Get out, get out. Then Mayor Thursday, the red-haired mayor, calmly walked onto the stage. The crowd cursed even more viciously. You shameless, wretched old man. A cowardly dog like you isn't worthy of being mayor anymore. Coward, coward. Suddenly, the mayor spoke in an extremely loud voice. You are absolutely right. I understand how everyone feels. No matter who encountered this situation, they would be afraid. You're not wrong at all. All of this is my fault. I am useless. I failed to fulfill my promise to everyone. I failed to bring prosperity to Golden Cloud City and protect everyone's safety, which led to this shameful day. Criminals are running rampant, committing atrocities that enrage everyone, and I feel unbearable pain. Day after day, we thought each day was peaceful. I will kill every murderer who has appeared here. Every murderer who has made us live in fear and destroyed our families. Why is this happening? We did nothing wrong, yet these blades of crime are still pointed at innocent people like us. What wrong have we committed by wanting to live peacefully and safely? Is it a sin to pray for each day to get better? We value those who were cruelly murdered by evildoers. Is it wrong for us to seek the truth and reclaim justice? No, it is not. The ones at fault are not us. We have done nothing wrong. Everyone, answer me, why are you silent? When facing something like this, is being framed and trapped our choice. How cruel a reality is this for those who are persecuted? Do we have no way to uncover the truth? Do we have no way to catch the murderer? Is this all we are capable of? Then our choice is. Hearing this, the crowd fell silent. He's right. We should blame the murderers. We didn't do anything wrong, but why did they choose us? Then the mayor shouted, "Everyone, answer me loudly. What should we do?" The entire crowd roared fiercely. "Catch the murderer! Fight to the end! We must kill them all!" After hearing that, a glimmer of hope appeared in the mayor's eyes. Elsewhere, the purple-haired old man Vin Tin was watching the speech. This speech was truly impressive. First, he followed the will of the people, then clarified what was in their hearts. Then he shifted the core target of the incident, giving the people a sense of reassurance. This Thursday, So Van is not simple. Two subordinates then said, "That person is right before our eyes. Why not let us go directly and capture him?" "That's right. As long as we take action, no one can stop us." He replied, "It is not that I do not trust you. We must subdue Thursday, So Van openly and honorably." But only he understood that. At our Duong Van side, just as he was about to step inside, the interior was filled with an extremely luxurious atmosphere and a vast space with sparkling lights, shining everywhere. After seeing it, cold sweat broke out all over him. Then he immediately tried to run away at top speed, but Brother Back instantly grabbed his hair and pulled him back. "Hey you, what are you doing? We finally got here after so much effort. Have you forgotten why you came here?" Duong Van replied fearfully, "I haven't forgotten, but this banquet is actually her birthday banquet." So he had discovered the stunningly beautiful Van Tien. Brother Back then said, "What nonsense are you talking about? Have you fallen for her? I advise you to give up on that idea. She isn't someone people like us can reach, kid." Our Duong Van stared at Van Tien in silence. Suddenly, someone called him from behind. "Duong Van, so you're here." He immediately turned around in shock. "Damn, what is it? Want a beating?" It turned out to be the curvy DM twin. She was wearing a dress that showed off an absolutely enormous pair of assets. "It really is you. Why are you here?" Immediately, a girl ran over and signaled her to keep her voice down. The two young men instantly panicked and whispered to each other, "Damn it, why did we run into that crazy woman here? If we get discovered, we're done for." Then DM Twin said, "Hey, you two, hurry up and answer me." Suddenly, the two young men turned around and struck exaggerated poses, confidently showing off their personalities. Oh my, what's going on here? Who is this, darling?" "I don't know either, girl. Why do they seem to know us sisters?" Hearing this, DM Twin looked as if she had been struck by lightning, frozen stiff on the spot. Then she moved close to him and said, "What kind of act are you putting on? Why are you here? Hurry up and talk." This is..." The two police officers on the side went pale and said to each other, "Damn, this is outrageous. He's injured that badly and still here putting on a comedy act." Then Duong Van and Brother Back smiled foolishly with blank eyes and replied, "Of course we were invited to attend this birthday banquet." That's right. Why even ask?" After hearing that, DM Twin immediately called the hospital. "Hello, hospital. There's a patient here who needs to be taken away urgently." Suddenly, Van Tien turned around and noticed him. When she saw her Duong Van, she was completely shocked. "Huh, is that Duong Van?" Then a crowd of lecherous, sleazy men surrounded her and teased her. "Miss Lamb, happy birthday. Let me toast you. I wish you eternal beauty, forever 18. You look very beautiful today. Would you do me the honor of dancing with me?" When Duong Van turned around, he also discovered Van Tien waving at him. "Now I'm screwed. Why did she suddenly come over here? Could I have been discovered? No, I have to find a place to hide." DM Twin still had her hands on her hips as she scolded him. "Hey you, you're very sneaky, aren't you? You're lying to me, right? Hurry up and confess." Suddenly, he pressed DM Twin against the wall. At the same time, his lower body also pressed against her. which made things even worse. DM Twin's face instantly turned as red as a boiled shrimp. Damn it, what is this guy trying to do to me? The three people on the side also had no idea what was going on and were extremely panicked. Oh no, Sister DM, Duong Van, have you lost your mind? DM Twin then asked in a fluster. What do you mean by this? What are you trying to do? Duong Van was thinking, this should be fine. I probably won't be discovered now. On this side, Van Tien froze for 5 seconds and was speechless. Did I recognize the wrong person? The people surrounding her kept talking all at once. This is my business card. You are truly beautiful. Miss Lamb, are you free today? Suddenly, a young man was slapped so hard by someone that his jaw nearly dislocated, and he fell sprawled on the ground. Get lost. Who gave you permission to speak to the young lady on your own? Damn, he got beaten just for that? Don't make a fuss. That guy isn't someone you can mess with. The blonde man then shouted, if you know what's good for you, get far away. Is our young master's fiancé someone you people can dream of? So they were this red lipstick bitch's subordinates. After hearing that, the whole group was so scared they nearly wet themselves. Who is he? You don't even know him? He's very famous in Golden Cloud City, and he's also the heir to the Duongnan group. Both the underworld and legitimate circles give him full respect. Not only that, his fiancée is Lam Van Tien. At this moment, DM Twin stared at Duong, then with a dark expression, unable to look away. Sister DM, he's Duong Van. Suddenly, she slammed Duong Van's head into the wall so hard that cracks spread everywhere. Damn it, he really did come. Keep a closer eye on him and proceed according to plan. Brother Back then noticed that the person Duong Van was looking for was walking together with the purple-haired old man, Duong Vin Tin. He immediately shouted, Duong Van, I found her. Over here. Duong Van still had his face pressed against the wall as he replied, don't make noise. If she notices us, things will get troublesome. Turn around and take a look. Then Van Tien's father said, young Master Duong, today is my daughter's birthday. Could you ask the bodyguards behind you to lower their weapons? For a moment. At this moment, the thugs all had blades and swords slung over their shoulders. What is this old man saying? Does he not want to live? Do you believe that in a few minutes, I'll come over to have a talk with you, and by then it'll be too late for you to get to the hospital? Duong then walked up and grabbed Van Tien's hand, threatening her, hey, beautiful Van Tien, some matters can't be delayed. Otherwise, don't blame me. She instantly pulled her hand back, grinding her teeth in extreme anger. Who gave you permission to touch me, you scum of society? Get lost. After hearing that, his face darkened as he said, Van Tien, you really know how to joke. Have you forgotten the position between us? Van Tien turned around and was horrified to discover that her father was being beaten by 2 bastards. Damn it, you. What are you trying to do? Let him go right now. Seeing this, everyone around was utterly terrified. What the hell is going on? How can that guy be so bold? What does he think this place is? How frightening. Then a man holding a baseball bat walked up and said, hey, old man, just looking at you makes me feel annoyed. I'm going to cripple you right now. As soon as he finished speaking, DM Twin rushed over and kicked him in the head, sending him spinning several times through the air. You people sure have guts. Do you think no one matters? Then today, I'll teach you a lesson. She then cracked her knuckles loudly and shouted, damn it, everyone saw that. Don't you know respecting the old and caring for the young is a traditional virtue? The 2 young policemen on this side froze for 5 seconds. Then they panicked. Oh my God, Sister DM hasn't even finished investigating. So why did she jump in? What is she thinking? Duong then put his hands in his pockets with an infuriating look and said, well, looks like more than one stinking rat snuck in. The 2 girls over here suddenly discovered that our Duong Van was walking over calmly with an incredibly cool presence. I really didn't expect us to meet again. At the same time, he was recalling his younger, reckless days. Back then, Van Tien said, did you go fight again? Yes. Next time, I'll definitely win. You said that no fewer than 100 times already. He replied, so what? It's none of your business. Van Tien then giggled happily and said, Senior Sister Vai Vai is an unparalleled genius expert in the sect. Teaching you a lesson is simple for her, just like snapping a chopstick. Hearing this, Duong Van's face, swollen like a steamed bun, was furious. Van Tan continued. I also heard that in the sect, aside from Master, very few people are her match. Someone once praised her as the girl with the strongest martial arts in the world. After hearing that, Duong Van replied, what idiot gave her a title like that? Senior brother 6, of course. Next time I'll definitely beat her. At this moment, our Duong Van glared at the purple-haired senior sister with a sharp, piercing gaze. She thought to herself, last time, he was the one who blocked my way. Why is he here? Duong Vin Tin found it strange and asked, who is he? I don't know either. I've never seen him before. He's probably just some nobody. Van Tien then spoke with tears of emotion in her eyes. Duong Van, is it really you? She was about to run over when that bastard Duong then stopped her. Stop. Are you trying to go meet your old flame just like that? Dambrat. We already captured and locked him up once. I can't believe he escaped. Men, hurry up and cripple them for me. Immediately, the underlings charged over with a great commotion, surrounding Duong Van and the other 4 in a circle. Everyone on this side had no idea what was going on and clutched their heads in terror. What the hell? What kind of situation is this? Are they filming a movie? Mom, I want to go home. Help me, help me. Van Tien then said angrily. Duong then, what are you doing? This banquet is mine. I absolutely will not allow you to act as you please. Stop right now, do you hear me? As soon as she finished speaking, he rushed over and glared at her frighteningly. Heartbroken for him, L'Homme Fontaine, listen carefully. If you dare betray me, in a few minutes, your entire corporation will be finished. Do you hear me? Then he grabbed Van Tien's mouth, incredibly cruel and despicable. Think carefully about your old father lying on his sickbed, barely breathing. You bastard, let go of me. Suddenly, there was a massive boom. An orange-haired woman attacked DM Twin with a spiked hammer, blasting a huge hole through the building. You dodged pretty fast. It's just a pity about that face and figure of yours. You're going to be ruined now. Take your time and enjoy it. DM Twin replied. Who ends up ruined and who survives still hasn't been decided. Suddenly, a shirtless man rushed over, intending to attack DM Twin from behind. The young policeman immediately rushed over and took the fatal blow for her. The young man was hit and sent flying more than 10 meters, skidding across the ground before landing flat on his back with his legs in the air. Damn it, these bastards really aren't as simple as I thought. The group on this side watched and laughed like madmen. I really didn't expect you to be an ancient martial artist. Your arm looks so ugly, it's enough to make people laugh their teeth out. Are the standards for ancient martial artists this low nowadays? Even someone like this can become one? Is this brat so scared he would himself? Why is he standing there frozen like a statue? Brother Back was thinking to himself, damn it, those guys are way too big. Even just their appearance is enough to scare me to death. Duong Van, don't let anything happen to you. Hey you, kneel down right now and bark like a dog for me. Bark nice and loud. Maybe I'll spare your life. Hurry up. Otherwise, don't blame me for being cruel. As soon as he finished speaking, our Duong Van punched him so hard his mouth shattered. The punch was so powerful that even the man behind him was sent flying too. A deafening boom rang out, and a huge hole was blasted through the building. Brother Back's mouth was hanging open like a catfish, utterly terrified and unable to believe his eyes. What the hell? Isn't this too fake? The 2 people on this side also froze, sweating buckets, completely unable to understand what was happening. Then our Duong Van seemed to successfully activate a cheat, his golden eyes looking incredibly cool as he said, who else? Step out. Come meet all at once. The scene shifts to the past. Young Duong Van had been beaten black and blue by his senior sister, his face swollen like a steamed bun. He went back to see his master and said, MMPH, MMPH, I lost again. Translated, that meant, Master, I lost again. I still can't beat senior sister Vi Vi. The master pressed his lips together, laughing uncontrollably as he replied, Little Van, victory and defeat are common in battle. Look on the bright side. No one will laugh at you. Hey, you're laughing at me right now. I'm not. Duong Van looked at that lousy master and was completely speechless. Then he asked, then is there any technique that can defeat senior sister, master? Of course there is. Its side effects are very serious. Aren't you afraid? What kind of technique is it? If possible, it's not that I don't want to teach you. I am afraid. Duong Van hurriedly said, teach me, please teach me. I'll accept everything. Okay, fine. The old master was also thinking, if anything happens, I'm not responsible. Is the strongest secret technique called the Heavenly Awakening Art. The scene returns to the current battle. One punch from Duong Van sent 4 or 5 men rolling across the ground. The purple-haired old man and everyone around him turned pale with fear and almost wet themselves. On this side, the senior sister was also punching and kicking. The troublemaking gangsters. She turned around and saw Duong Van walking out with an absurdly cool presence, glaring at Duong. Then as she thought to herself, damn it, this guy is still such a monster. If there were no other matters, I'd really want to play with him. For a while, Duong then spoke. Hey, lapdog, don't you plan to have that woman help? After all, she's just a puppet. Is she only going to stand there and watch the show? Send her in. Old Duong Vin Tin and senior sister Vai Vai still stood silently without saying a word. At this moment, Duong then put his arm around Miss Lamb's shoulders and prepared to leave, saying cheerfully, I'll leave this place to you. Hey, wait, today is Miss Lamb's birthday banquet. Where do you plan to take her? Where? Of course, to have some fun. He. DM Twin noticed this and shouted loudly. Duong then is trying to run. I'm going after him. Hurry and back me up. At this moment, our Duong Van stood tall and imposing like a god. He was also thinking, my previous injuries still hurt. On top of that, I activated the Heavenly Awakening art, making my injuries even worse. Now, even taking one step is extremely difficult. But senior sister is right in front of me. Then Duong Van slowly walked forward. Seeing this, old Duong Van Tin and senior sister Vai Vai frowned and said to each other, he's coming over. Are you leaving all these trivial matters to me? Vai Vai, hurry and deal with him. Suddenly, Vai Vai threw a man with great force, sending him flying toward Duong Van. Seeing this, he thought to himself, she threw an injured person without holding back at all. What a despicable trick. Is this really my senior sister? Duong Van tilted his body and dodged lightly. Vai Vai also rushed over as fast as lightning. She intended to unleash an incredibly powerful punch to knock Duong Van down. At this moment, Vai Vai realized something and was startled out of her wits. Duong Van had one hand gripping the green-haired man's shirt and the other hand catching her punch, looking extremely cool. He stared straight into her eyes and said, Senior sister, do you really not remember me? On this side, old Duong Vin Tin glared and thought to himself, seeing Vai Vai reveal that expression. I really can't believe all of this is real. That brat actually treats Vai Vai's attacks as if they're nothing. Then Vai Vai unleashed many fierce punches, but Duong Van blocked them with incredible ease. Everyone standing nearby turned as pale as banana leaves. What the hell is this? Vai Vai is attacking continuously like that, yet it has no effect? Isn't she a famous expert in the city? Vai Vai recalled something from not long ago. She had arm wrestled a man as muscular as an ox, and it only took her 1 second to defeat him. The busybodies around them immediately jeered. You lost that quickly while arm wrestling a girl? That's humiliating. Why are you so weak? He cursed back. Damn it, easy for you to say. If you're so capable, get over here and try against her. The scene returns to the present. Suddenly, vi unleashed an extremely terrifying kick. Our Duong Van still stood in place and raised his hand to block it with ease. The lowlife gangsters immediately exclaimed, what the hell? That man took a full-powered attack, and he's completely fine? He isn't injured at all. This is seriously unreal. Duong Van now calmly looked straight into senior sister Vai Vai's eyes. The two young policemen watching were also stunned with their mouths wide open. Holy crap, this is like a mortals fighting. Are they even normal people? Did you notice? Notice what? Since the fight began, Duong Van hasn't once struck that woman. I never dreamed it would be like this. Duong Van, you're way too cool. In this life, I, Wang Boji, am determined to follow you. Then Vai Vai rushed over angrily like a wild beast. She gathered power into a heaven-shaking punch aimed straight at Duong Van's face, golden aura radiating from it and looking incredibly formidable. Seeing this, old Vin Tin thought cheerfully, good, Vai Vai, deal with him just like that. It would be even better if you took his life. Suddenly, old Vin Tin realized something and his eyes widened until the whites showed. What is this? How can this be? It turned out our Duong Van had used the halo of a main character and was not scratched at all. Vai Vai also froze, thinking to herself, what the hell is this? I clearly unleashed a killing move just now. Duong Van now replied coolly, not bad. Senior sister is still the same as ever. Suddenly, he countered with a wave of his hand. Vai Vai was instantly knocked over with both legs in the air, even exposing her black underwear. Everyone around froze like stone statues, utterly terrified. Vai landed face down on the ground, cracking a huge hole into it and looking extremely miserable. At the same time, Duong Van spoke in a cold, cool voice. "Senior sister, you have truly disappointed me." Old Duong Vin Tin panicked and thought to himself, what the hell? Vai actually lost? Wait, he's trying to take Vai away. Old Vin Tin then ordered, "Hey, hurry and seize my daughter back for me." The group immediately talked back. "What nonsense? If you're so capable, you go. Whoever goes is asking to die. Isn't that just stupid? We're not listening to you anymore." Boss like hell. After hearing that, he was so furious his face twisted like a monkey eating chili, and he shouted, "Damn it, you dogs who only care about money. I wasted so much feeding you. Everyone here, whoever helps me get my daughter back, I'll give them all my family assets. Not a single coin will be missing. I'll give it all to them." After hearing that, the whole group charged over like rockets and said, "Duong Vin Tin, remember what you said. Brothers, everyone attack. Take advantage while he isn't paying attention and kill him. Brothers, hurry and beat him to death. We're going to be rich." At this moment, our Duong Van closed his eyes tightly. 1 second later, a deafening sound like a grenade explosion rang out. Passers-by saw the building explode and exclaimed, "What the hell? What's going on? An earthquake?" "No, that was a bomb explosion. What happened over there? It must be something huge. Let's crowd around and take a look." Nearby, the orange-haired girl also heard the explosion. In another location, a group that looked like reckless delinquents heard the explosion and was drawn over by it. A brown-skinned girl said with interest, "Looks like we won't make it in time this trip." Old Duong Vin Tin was now sitting on the ground, so terrified he could not speak. Before him was the site of the building Duong Van had smashed down, leaving only a pile of ruins. Another group of people screamed continuously in horror. What the hell is this? Can someone tell us what happened? Help me, help me." The scene shifts to our Duong Van. Brother Back was carrying Vai on his shoulder, exhausted and limp as he said, "Brother Duong, I can't do this anymore. Think of something." There's a chair over there." Then Brother Back lowered Vai onto the chair, panting like a dog as he said, "I'm dying. She really is as heavy as a pig. This woman made me suffer so miserably. I never thought there would come a day like this. Today I'll let you experience my purple gold 12 bun squeezing technique." Hee. Duong Van immediately smacked him painfully on the head. Brother Back cried like a puppy and lamented, "Damn it, why did you hit me?" "Boo-hoo." Duong Van replied, "Senior sister is the person I love most." "Oh, Brother Duong, you misunderstood me. I only wanted to help wake her up so I wouldn't be so tired." "Shut up. You're not allowed to rest. Carry her and run right now." After hearing that, Brother Back's eyes rolled back, but he had no choice but to accept it. Yes, Brother Duong." After walking for a while, Brother Back asked, "Brother Duong, you and your senior sister are both so powerful. Just what kind of people are you?" Duong Van, meanwhile, was thinking to himself, "This kid should be able to take senior sister away from here safely." Suddenly, Duong Van felt pain all over his body. Then he coughed up blood and thought to himself, "Damn it, the backlash from the heavenly awakening art has begun, right? I can't speak either." Brother Back calmly kept walking forward. After walking for quite a while, he turned back and said, "Hey, Brother Duong, look at me. Do I have the talent to learn that ancient martial arts stuff from you?" "Brother Duong, what the hell? Where are you? Don't scare me like that." Meanwhile, where Duong Van was, a girl was licking an ice cream bar that had melted into sticky strands. She discovered Duong Van lying face down on the ground and thought to herself, "Who is this guy? He doesn't look like some bad guy lying in ambush to trap me. Besides, ordinary scams wouldn't use this kind of person either. It doesn't look like this guy. Could he have escaped from an abusive family and ended up like this? Why is he dressed like that? Forget it. Seeing him covered in wounds really is pitiful. Anyway, it has nothing to do with me. Okay, it has nothing to do with me at all." That was what she said, but afterward the girl turned back to look at Duong Van and said, "You're pretty lucky to have run into me." At this time, Duong then was forcing Miss Lam to go. With him, she clearly felt uncomfortable and resisted, but she was helpless. Nearby, Dim, Twin hid behind a tree in the orchard, observing them as she said, "What is this guy bringing Miss Lam here for?" If the contact who provided the intelligence wasn't wrong, Duong then seemed suspicious. The two young policemen standing beside her said in fear, Sister DM Twin, this place seems scary. We should go back. That's right, Sister DM Twin. I'm really scared. DM Twin then said, I'll think of a way to sneak in. You two stay here and wait for news from me. If I still haven't come back by dawn, leave immediately. Find a way to get to his residence. Find Duong Van and bring him here. Okay, I'm going. After saying that, she instantly flew off and took action without thinking too much, leaving the two policemen unable to say anything more. The next morning, in a room decorated in an extremely cute style, our Duongvan woke up, holding his head as he thought, ugh, my head hurts so much. Looks like I fainted and got left behind, then was saved by a kind person. This kind of situation happens when the heavenly awakening art is overused. Damn it, I look like I've turned into a 12 or 13-year-old. Rejuvenating back to youth doesn't sound bad, but it seems to have gone beyond the limit. This is life-threatening. Having become like this, I'm guessing my strength has changed a bit too. At that moment, Duong Van lightly tapped the wall once, and immediately, a huge crack opened in it. Unexpectedly, behind the wall was an extremely hazy and eye-catching scene. A beautiful girl with blue eyes and a perfect figure was bathing without a single piece of clothing covering her. Then the two of them looked at each other with entranced eyes in the bathtub. Immediately, blood shot out of Duong Van's nostrils like a pair of fountains. The girl also quickly used her hands to cover her round chest. At this moment, Duong Van pinched his nose and thought, enough. Wait a second. Isn't this the kind of plot that only appears in manga? What the hell? I never thought the heavenly awakening art would stimulate such power, and it's still lingering inside me. It hasn't dispersed. If I don't find a chance to release this power, it'll be very harmful to my body. First, I need to apologize quickly. I'm sorry, I didn't. Before he could finish speaking, the girl had already run over and rubbed up against him, saying, Are you all right? Are you hurt? I'm Yufine. Rather you me? Of course. Hurry and put on some clothes. Only then did the girl understand the problem and scream, I forgot. Hurry and turn around. A while later, she walked out wearing an adorable, cute outfit and said, I haven't introduced myself yet. You could just call me Chu Tui. Just now, I really didn't mean anything by it. I was worried you'd been hurt again, so I got a little worked up. Hey, little brother, what's your name? Duongfun replied, My name is Duongfun. At the same time, he was thinking, little brother? This feeling, because my current appearance is that of a teenager. No matter how you look at me, I'm like a child. After that, the girl and Duong Van patched up the wall. Chu Tui then said, Anyway, this neighborhood has been abnormal for a long time. I heard that the construction companies cut corners terribly, so this can be considered normal too. That's why the bathroom wall is built so badly. Duong Van was sweating buckets as he thought, No, this happened because I'm too ridiculously strong. Suddenly, someone pounded on the door and shouted loudly, Where's Chu Tui? Open the door for me right now. She then stepped over, opened the door, and smiled awkwardly as she said, Uncle, please stop pounding on the door. If there's something, let's talk it over slowly. The landlord pointed angrily and shouted, How did my bathroom turn into this? Do you know my house is about to be sold? This is a loss of hundreds of thousands. This isn't a joke. How are you going to explain this? Chu Tui frowned and replied, Uncle, I'm really sorry. Suddenly, he slapped Chu Tui hard across the face. At the same time, he cursed, You damn destructive brat. You don't let people rest in the middle of the night, and now you've caused such a huge mess. Do you think this place was left to you by your father? Seeing this from the side, Duong Van felt outraged. He glared fiercely and said, Hey, casually hitting a girl like that. Are you even a man? Hearing that, the wretched landlord gritted his teeth and turned to say, Damn it, who are you? What are you doing at her place in the middle of the night? Don't tell me you're doing something indecent. But in his heart, he was trembling. Damn, this guy's eyes looked terrifying. Next, tears streamed down Chu Tui's face nonstop as she said, Landlord uncle, please listen to my explanation. This child is my younger brother. He's still young and doesn't understand things, so please don't take it to heart. This is all my fault. I promise that in 1 week, I'll pay you the compensation. After hearing that, the landlord walked out, slammed the door shut, and shouted, I'll only give you 3 days. Give me 100,000. If you don't pay, pack your things and get out. Do you hear me? At this moment, Chu Tui turned around and smiled sweetly at Duong Van, saying, Hee, we finally tricked him. Duong Van gave a stiff smile and asked, That's strange. Weren't you just crying your eyes Ow, hee hee. That's because landlord uncle is very soft-hearted. As long as I squeeze out a few tears, I can get him to stop, so I always keep eye drops ready. To a certain extent, he can be considered to have some good points too. Although he has a terrible attitude, he's the only person willing to rent a room to me, so I'm very grateful to him, even if only a little. After hearing this, Duong Van thought, this can also be called kindness? The scene shifted to DM Twin. She was walking through a passage leading down into a secret underground basement. As DM Twin walked, she thought, although I managed to sneak in, I lost track of Duong Van. This underground passage is very complicated. If I'm careless, I'll get lost. Whoa, are these human bones? Could it be that all of them were killed by Duong Van? Suddenly, DM Twin heard someone scream. This is bad. It's a woman's shriek. The scream came from this room. Immediately, DM Twin kicked the iron door open and sent it flying inward. At this moment, she broke out in a cold sweat, utterly horrified by the sight before her. Countless human body parts were contained in jars filled with some kind of liquid. Perhaps they were being soaked in liquor for drinking? DM Twin exclaimed, this is truly unbelievable. What kind of demon could commit such an act? She was still gritting her teeth, not yet recovered from her shock, when Duong then suddenly appeared behind her and said, hey, when did you follow me here? The scene shifted to Duong Van. Feeling confused, he asked, hey, Chu Tui, 100,000 isn't a small amount. Within 3 days, where's a girl like you going to get that much money by yourself? What do you mean a girl? Aren't you a boy too? Hee hee, there's no harm in telling you. In the past, I helped someone take a photo and received 50,000 as payment. After looking at it, Duong Van was shocked and thought, this is a photo of senior brother while he was still alive. Standing with him are Duong Van and senior sister. Immediately, Duong Van grabbed Chu Tui's hand tightly and said loudly, where did you take this photo? Who gave it to you? Chu Tui cried out in pain. Duong Van was startled when he realized it and apologized. I got a little worked up. I'm sorry. It's okay, it's okay. Duong Van, your arms and legs are injured, so why are you so strong? I know a rich uncle named Duong Vintin. He often asked me to help him deceive people. After I finished the job, he would give me a lot of money. Duong Van then picked up the phone and said seriously, Chu Tui, this person is my senior brother, a very important family member to me. Do you know what happened to him? This, Duong Van, first, I'm sorry. Once I say this, it may be a little hard for you to accept. That day, I followed the rich uncle's arrangements and waited in the grass. Then I saw it. That man said, it's been 3 years. You finally agreed to appear in front of me? Why won't you answer me? Could it be that you really don't care about the feelings between us? VV. Then Duong then suddenly stepped out and smiled sinisterly, saying, Duong Vintin was right after all. As long as we use the right bait, we can easily lure you out. Although attacking a man is extremely boring, I still have to handle it according to the instructions of the Adjudication Council. You've lived long enough. After that, blood splattered everywhere. Qtui took photos while sweating heavily. That's how it was. That terrifying man killed your senior brother. Hearing this, Duong Van's hatred burned like a blazing fire, to the point that the surrounding objects trembled nonstop. Suddenly, a basin nearby shattered. Qtui was puzzled and frightened as she exclaimed, whoa, whoa, these broken things haven't been repaired in ages. They suddenly all broke. On this side, Duong Van's face was filled with terrifying killing intent. Then he asked, Qtui, do you know how to find Duong Vintin? Qtui replied, after leaving that night, I completely lost all news about him. Hearing that, Duong Van thought, from Qtui's explanation, Duong Vintin and Duong then definitely have a connection. As long as I find Duong Vintin, I'll be able to find Duong then. Meanwhile, at Lai Tuk's place, she was worried and wondering, why hasn't Duong Van come back yet? Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Lai Tuk turned around with an excited expression. Has Duong Van come back? It turned out to be Brother Back. He was drenched in sweat, his face dark as soot, as he said, Sister-in-law, hurry and come help. Huh? Why is it you? Sister-in-law, don't talk. Hurry and find a place to put her down. She's Brother Duong's senior sister. We can't delay. What? She's Duong Van's senior sister? At DM Twin's location, she was fiercely fighting Duong Van. She unleashed a furious dragon kick. He raised his hand and blocked it easily. At the same time, he said smugly, this prey is quite interesting. You even want to fight me? That makes me even more excited. Hee. Then a man in black hurriedly ran in and reported, young master, this is bad. Here's what happened. After hearing it, Duong then was shocked as if a cat's tail had been stepped on. What did you say? Is the information accurate? You damned wench. This is all your fault. I was planning to stay and taste my dessert before fleeing. Next, I'll use your body to repay this debt. After hearing this, DM Twin smiled smugly and said, Really? Then congratulations to you. Meanwhile, back had gone inside to hide. The two nervous young policemen were saying to each other, Sister DM Twin still hasn't come back. What should we do? It hasn't been that long. Why are you so anxious? Suddenly, a strange sound came from the bushes. The two young men immediately hugged each other stiffly and shouted, Ah, I'm so scared. Don't panic, baby. Let's go take a look together. Then the two young men parted the grass and discovered, Isn't this the eldest young lady of the Lamb family? DM Twin and Duong then were comparing strength with their fists. Neither of them was willing to back down. After fighting for a while, DM Twin's inner and outer clothes were torn to pieces, sweat pouring down her body as she thought, This guy is like a completely different person. Every time he attacks, the power is so great it's unimaginable. Then Duong then charged forward again, attacking as fast as lightning. DM Twin shifted aside to dodge, and he said proudly, Your ability isn't bad at all. I like it very much. Next, DM Twin said nothing more and flashed forward, thinking, although the power of his moves has become strong, his movements are rather slow. That is his weakness, and it is also my chance. DM Twin suddenly launched a rather fierce hand chop. Immediately, Duong then was struck by the move, spat blood, and collapsed to the ground. Seeing this, DM Twin thought to herself, No matter how formidable he is still human. The weakest point is the head. I succeeded. I didn't embarrass my father. Suddenly, a voice sounded behind her, making her fall into absolute terror. Do you know? Using overwhelming strength to pressure an enemy is the most boring thing of all. Because once the gap in strength is clearly recognized, the despair becomes monotonous and dull. So, you must first give someone hope in their heart, and then make them despair. At that moment, a person's expression is the most beautiful. That's right, the expression you have now is just like that. It excites me so much. Hee. As soon as he finished speaking, Duong then slashed out. Countless strikes all over DM Twin's body. Blood splattered everywhere, and her clothes were shredded. As DM Twin lay unconscious on the ground, Duong then ordered, Hurry and tie her up. The beautiful Lam Van Tien escaped, so let her be the substitute. Yes, young master, we understand. At Duong Vin Tin's location, he angrily smashed his phone, gritted his teeth, and cursed, Damn it, Duong Van can't be found anywhere. The only clue is that this brat and DM Twin are connected. I sent DM Twin to watch Duong then. I have no choice but to go back. While Duong then is toying with her, I'll ask for a bit of information. After saying that, he ran off. The scene shifted to Duong Van. Q Tui then said to him, The rich uncle is in here. After you see him, don't say anything reckless. If you make him angry, we'll be driven out. I know to be careful. Suddenly, a car appeared, speeding over as fast as lightning. Seeing this, Duong Van pulled Tu Tui aside to dodge. Be careful. It's dangerous. At this moment, Tu Tui was furious, smoke practically coming out of her head as she said, Who was that? How can they drive so fast in a place like this? Duong Van suddenly froze when he discovered that the person in the car was the purple-haired Duong Vin Tin. Immediately, he dashed off to chase after him. Finding this strange, Tu Tui asked, Duong Van, where are you going? As Duong Van chased after him, he thought, Duong Vin Tin looks so hurried. Where exactly does he want to go? I have to think of a way. What's going on? I'm suddenly having trouble breathing. Does this body not have enough time to circulate true energy right now? Damn it, am I just going to watch Duong Vin Tin get away? Suddenly, Jiao Dai shouted, Hey, Duong Fun, do you want to chase that car or not? Unexpectedly, she got onto a flashy motorcycle and said, Duong Van, get on. Immediately, Duong Van grabbed her hand and leaped onto it in one motion. At the same time, he said, I really have to thank you this time, but how did you get this bike? Chu Tui replied, How could a little thing like this be difficult for a master thief like me? Hee. Old Duong Vin Tin then arrived at Duong Van's underground basement and thought, Duong then definitely won't let DM Twin go just because of a few words from me. I must find someone who can suppress him. At this moment, two men discovered the old man and walked over, saying, Oh, it's the guy's surname Duong. You came. It's late at night, yet you used the name of an emergency contact to call the two of us out. Surely it wasn't just so we could admire the moon, right? If you can't give us a reasonable explanation, I don't mind using you as a tool to practice my moves. Old Duong Vin Tin then said, this matter concerns the leader's great ideal. I want to ask you two to help with something. Meanwhile, at DM Twin's location, when she woke up, she discovered that both her hands were locked in two enormous chains. She said resentfully, damn it, I actually lost him. That Duong then really isn't an ordinary person. My ribs still hurt even now. They can't be broken, can they? No time to worry about that. I have to think of a way to escape this place. Then she suddenly forced herself free, which was honestly unbelievable. After that, she walked through a tunnel, her whole body in terrible pain, muttering inwardly, damn it, this hurts so much. How do those people in TV dramas break chains with their bare hands and not get hurt at all? Suddenly, DM Twin heard many miserable screams. Help, help, kill me, I'm begging you. DM Twin immediately went forward and opened the door to take a look. Inside was the sight of many girls who had been tortured horribly. At that moment, DM Twin could hardly believe her eyes. Then she clenched her fists, utterly furious. Duong then, I swear, I will make you receive your retribution. Meanwhile, over at Duong Van's side, Chiu Tui was angrily cursing. Damn this stupid motorcycle. It ran out of gas after such a short distance. It's fine. We can still follow the tracks left on the road. The path ahead is very difficult to travel. If he wants to keep driving by car, his speed will definitely be very slow. Chiu Tui then asked, hey, Duong Van, I still haven't asked you. Why do you want to find that rich boss? That uncle doesn't seem like a bad person. Duong Van answered, I just want to ask him for information about someone. So that's it. Wait, don't tell me you want to find the killer. Duong Van, you're only a child. Catching a murderer is something dangerous like that should be left to the police, right? There are some things that only I can do. Duong Van then patted Chiu Tui on the head and said, all right, it may be very dangerous from here on, so I should go alone. You should go back first. Chiu Tui's whole face flushed with infatuation, but then she remembered what was going on and jumped up resentfully. No. What do you mean there's danger? So you want to go back? You're just a kid too. What right do you have to lecture someone older than you? Hearing that, Duong Van thought with a gloomy expression. With my current appearance, she really sees me completely as a child. Chiu Tui then said cheerfully, if there really is danger, then I should be the one protecting you, right? Suddenly, a massive bear appeared behind her. As soon as she turned around, she screamed in terror, so loudly it nearly deafened people. It appeared. Save me. Save me. Wait, no, it's fine. I've studied martial arts before too. I'm here to protect you. After saying that, she threw a punch that was about as powerful as a stainless steel needle prick. Chiu Tui froze on the spot, unable to say a word. The bear immediately roared in fury, terrifyingly loud. Our dear Chiu Tui fled in horror, crying like a puppy. Wah, help, help. Mom, save me. Don't eat me. Don't eat me. Huh? Strange. I haven't been eaten yet. Chiu Tui turned around and saw her Duong Van standing on the bear's corpse, looking ridiculously cool. Her jaw dropped as she exclaimed, holy crap. Duong Van, you're that strong. Duong Van crossed his arms and answered smugly, see, while there's still time, you can still go back. If we keep moving forward, there might be many more dangers. No. Anyway, you'll protect me. Duong Van replied, I can only deal with one bear. If there are two, I can't beat them either. Suddenly, there was a strange sound from the nearby bushes. Chiu Tui immediately hid behind Duong Van and said in a panic, hey, are there really two bears? At that moment, Duong Van discovered they were acquaintances and instantly looked fed up. It turned out to be the two clumsy young policemen. The two were saying to each other, you idiot, you actually forgot to fill the car with gas yesterday. Now we have no choice but to walk into the mountains. Shut up. If you've got that much energy, come help me carry her. Duong Van then walked over and said, so it's you guys? Damn, who's this? The two young policemen then explained everything. Oh, so that's what happened. During the banquet, Duong then had already left early. Captain DM led you two following the trail to this place. You found the beautiful pink-haired Miss Lamb. Seeing Chiu Tui, who was raising her chin, she thought to herself, her figure really is beautiful. Meanwhile, Duong Van said, and then you rescued her, right? Thanks. Hearing that, the two young policemen looked at each other, completely confused. Then they asked, who are you? Why are you talking like you were acting together with us? That's right, kid. It's already so late at night, and you're still running around outside. Believe it or not, I'll take you back and teach you a lesson. Duong Van held his head and fell in a deep thought. What the hell? These two actually don't recognize me. Then he put his hand in his pocket, looking extremely cool, and said, although my body has shrunk a lot, you should still recognize my voice, right? Only then did the two young men recognize him, and they jumped in shock. Why, you're Duong Van. Duong Van, hurry and go save Sister DM. She went into that place alone, and she still hasn't come out. The two of us are worried to death. You don't need to tell me. I'll definitely go. As for you two, one of you lead the way for me, and the other stay here to take care of them. Chu Tui also spoke up. Duong Van, I want to go with you. I'll talk to that rich boss. I'm sure he won't hide anything from me. Duong Van turned to her, smiled faintly, and said, don't worry, Chu Tui. I no longer need to find him to hear information about that person. Hearing that, she trembled like a drenched chicken. At the same time, Chu Tui thought inwardly, why is he clearly smiling, but I feel like he's so terrifying. A while later, in the underground basement, Duong then said, Truong Vu, what wind blew you here? Or should I say, have you finally become interested in my works of art? Truong Vu replied, I'm always very straightforward when I speak. You just captured a woman, and she's the captain of the security team, right? She's the mayor's daughter, the best bargaining chip for a deal. You can't play with her until she breaks, so I want this person. Hearing that, Duong then crushed the glass in his hand and glared furiously. Truong Vu, since when do you have the qualifications to tell me to give up someone I captured? We are all ancient martial artists, and we are allies. I only spoke so politely because I was giving you face. Your realm is only 6th grade acquired. In this place, you are only middle tier. Usually, people give you a little face only out of consideration for your family. Hearing that, Duong then became a little intimidated. Suddenly, a terrifyingly muscular man stepped forward and glared threateningly. Don't refuse a toast, only to be forced to drink a penalty cup. We don't want to waste words. At that moment, Duong then snapped his fingers and calmly replied, what if I say I refuse? What if I go turn her into a work of art right now? The man in the suit beside him also said, yes, young master. I'll go prepare it for you at once. The two men opposite him, hot-tempered as fire, could no longer hold back their anger. Fine, then don't blame me. Immediately, the muscular man charged over and struck. An extremely terrifying and powerful punch was thrown. After that, dust and smoke billowed everywhere, making it impossible to see anything. Truong Vu said smugly, the strength of ancient martial artists is divided by grades. 9th grade is the lowest, and 1st grade is the highest. He's only a 6th grade martial artist. Being suppressed is only natural. If you don't have strength, you should obediently tuck your tail between your legs, kid. Suddenly, Duong Then's voice answered unharmed. That's right. If you don't have strength, you should obediently tuck your tail between your legs. Truong Vu shouted, watch out behind you. Before the man could turn around, Duong then had already flashed over. His hand transformed into sharp iron claws that pierced through the muscular young man's body in an instant, immediately sending him to the afterlife. After that, Duong then seemed to transform into a demon, his eyes glowing blood red and terrifying as he said, when did I ever say 6th grade was my limit? You couldn't even see that I was hiding my true strength. So your realm is only that much after all. What a bunch of stupid, pig-brained idiots. To explain ancient martial artists further, ancient martial artists are people who use methods from ancient times to cultivate martial arts. They can form vital energy within their bodies, and at the same time use true energy for cultivation. All true energy is special energy unleashed from the human body through special methods. It can circulate throughout the extraordinary meridians of the human body. The strength of ancient martial artists is divided according to the total amount of vital energy within the body, as well as their skills in using true energy. The lowest is a 9th grade martial artist. They have only condensed a tiny bit of true energy, but even if they're only 9th grade martial artists, they can transfer their condensed true energy into the palm. A palm strike like this has the power to shatter a stone. 5th grade is the boundary between low level and high level. Upon reaching that stage, one can circulate true energy throughout the entire body. And martial artists of even higher grades can even use true energy to do unimaginable things. After that, the battle between Truong Vu and Duong then unfolded fiercely. Truong Vu was continuously attacked relentlessly by Duong, then until he was drenched in sweat. Seeing him charge over with a smug expression, Truong Vu thought in terror, "Damn it, this bastard Duong then. Is he like me, at the 4th grade acquired realm?" Seeing that he could not win, Truong Vu turned and fled for his life. Duong then chased after him and said cheerfully, "Why do you only know how to run? Didn't you say you wanted to teach me a lesson?" I laughed so hard hearing that. After running for a while, Truong Vu thought to himself, "This guy attacks without restraining his true energy at all. Even if he is 4th grade, his true energy can't last forever like this." The young man then turned around and said, "Spoiled air, if you and I both have 4th grade strength, then we shouldn't fight in such a cramped place. It restricts our movements too much. If you got guts, follow me outside." Hearing that, Duong then laughed with great delight. "Ha ha ha, don't think I don't know what you're thinking. You won't escape, kid." Truong Vu still kept running straight outside, while thinking smugly, "He really is an inexperienced young master with no combat experience. As long as I use all my strength to stall for time, he will definitely lose to me because of excessive true energy consumption." DM Twin was walking through the stairway when she suddenly realized something in shock. "What's going on? An earthquake?" At that moment, a group of young men appeared, cheerfully talking among themselves. Following brother, then really does mean there's meat to eat. That's right, we were blind before. Following that useless brother back was way too stupid. One of them heard a sound and turned around. "Why did you stop? I think I saw a figure here just now." "Stop joking. Hurry up and go enjoy the feast." Then they discovered DM Twin. She was pretending to be hanging from 2 chains. The whole group of longtime bachelors immediately became lustful and went forward, exclaiming, "Holy crap, what a beautiful, curvy babe. This time I definitely have to taste her first." "Why do you get to go first? What are you fighting over? Everyone just get on together and enjoy her quickly. Hee hee hee." Suddenly, as soon as they stepped over, DM Twin opened her eyes. She grabbed the 2 chains and launched a kick that smashed 2 of those scumbags until blood sprayed from their mouths. As for the remaining one, she slammed his face straight into the floor with ruthless force. DM Twin then locked her legs around his vital point. Then she unleashed a fatal move that killed him before he could say any last words. After that, she turned away, looking extremely cool, and said, "A bunch of trash. You deserve to die." Suddenly, a voice sounded from behind her. They truly were a bunch of trash. However, the young master's works of art should occasionally be washed clean too. On a blank sheet of paper like you, it would be nice to leave behind some debauched memories. As soon as DM Twin turned around, he launched a lightning-fast move. She flew backward more than 10 meters, grimacing as she thought, "This man's strength is terrifyingly powerful." The man in the suit then said, "Although I'm the only one left here for the young master's works, I am willing to devote everything." DM Twin was in pain all over and thought to herself, "Damn it, I can't move anymore." Although this man isn't as terrifying as Duong then, he also has strength that doesn't match his age. The man in the suit was smiling with delight. Suddenly, his eyes rolled back, and he collapsed unconscious on the ground. It turned out to be because of a young man dressed like a superhero. He was holding an electric shock weapon and had stabbed it straight into the man in the suit. At the same time, the young man spoke up. "Even ancient martial artists aren't bodies of steel, immune to fire and water. Captain DM, I'm here to save you." DM Twin's jaw dropped, and she shouted, "Uncle, who are you?" After that, the 2 of them ran outside. DM Twin kept asking in confusion, "Uncle, thank you for saving me, but who exactly are you?" About that, DM Twin then said, "Oh, I understand. Sorry, I'm asking too many questions. Since you're wearing a mask, it must be inconvenient for you to reveal your identity. But you're willing to stand up against Duong then, so you must be an ally with a righteous heart." "That's right. To me, you're a superhero." It turned out that he was Duong Vintin. The old man then shamelessly lied. "I'm just an angel of justice passing by. The passage to the outside is up ahead. Let's hurry." At the same time, the old man thought inwardly, "Just as I expected, this little girl really is naive." After that, he and DM Twin hurriedly ran. Outside, old Vintin then said, Captain DM, Duong that is a very terrifying ancient martial artist. I think only by gathering a large number of people can we stop him. At that moment, DM Twin remembered our Duong Van and replied, I also know that he's different from ordinary criminals. This time, we have no choice but to rely on Duong Van. Duong Fun, is he your ally? Where should we go to find him? Damn. Suddenly, DM Twin discovered something, and she immediately rushed over and hugged old Vintin, throwing him to the ground. At the same time, someone flew over and landed with a boom, sending earth, rocks, smoke, and dust flying everywhere. At that moment, DM Twin was startled and discovered that it was Duong then. Beneath his feet was Truong Vu, lying face down in pain. How can this be? You, why hasn't your true energy been exhausted? Duong then laughed with delight and replied, Ha ha ha. At the 5th grade realm, an ancient martial artist can circulate true energy through the whole body. You and I are both 4th grade, but when it comes to using true energy, you're nothing but a tiny shrimp. Could he have? You actually didn't retain even a bit of true energy for defense and used all your true energy for offense. Aren't you afraid that I would strike back and attack you? Hearing that, Duong then laughed wildly like a madman. At first, all my attacks were powerful. I poured all my strength into attacking, making you think I was someone who only knew offense and didn't know defense. You would definitely become arrogant and, at the same time, think that once I exhausted my true energy, you could counterattack me. Ha ha! Without hope, how could there be despair? Right now, you really are a masterpiece. As soon as he finished speaking, Duong then reached out, about to finish him off. Truong Vu screamed in utter terror. Immediately, DM Twin spoke up. Duong then, stop right now. Duong then was startled, turned around, and said, It's you? You actually managed to escape. I really did raise a bunch of useless subordinates. Duong then, as long as I'm here, don't even think about continuing to hurt anyone else. Old Duong Vintin also immediately spoke up. Captain DM, our strength isn't enough. We should retreat first and gather people. Don't provoke Duong then anymore. Uncle, Duong Van's whereabouts are currently unknown, but before this, he was always at Shuck Shuck Eatery. I'll handle things here. Hurry and go. You must think of a way to find him. Hearing that, old Vin Tin happily left. Okay, I understand. I'll go there at once. After that, Duong then showed a terrifying expression, smiled smugly, and said, You clearly know the gap in strength between you and me, yet you don't want to run? How interesting. I truly look forward to seeing what expression you'll have after your arms and legs are broken. On this side, Dim Twin glared with determined eyes and thought inwardly, I already knew it long ago. I'm fundamentally no match for monsters like you. But even if everything I do has no effect at all, even if my fists right now can't stand against a demon like you. At that moment, DM Twin remembered the past. Back then, a man had asked her, Little DM, your father is the mayor. Why would you still want to become a lowly bodyguard like this? Well, it's a little embarrassing to say, but actually it's because I believe justice exists in this world, and I'm willing to protect that justice. Come on, Duong then. He immediately charged over like a wild beast. Fine, good. Just don't die too soon. At that moment, Duong then suddenly realized in shock that someone's fist had blocked his move. It turned out to be our incredibly cool Duong Van. He said, I finally found you, Duong Van. DM Twin was so shocked, she nearly jumped out of her skin. This feeling, is it Duong Van? Meanwhile, over at Duong Vin Tin's side, he was running as fast as lightning while thinking to himself, I've already obtained the intel, so I have no reason to stay here anymore. As for Truong Vu, if he dies at Duong Van's hands, that'll just give me a reasonable explanation to present to the leader. Duong Van and Duong then were clashing fiercely. The aura they released was a blinding golden color. DM Twin and Truong Vu watched with pale faces, scared stiff. Truong Vu thought to himself, this kid is actually a 5th grade ancient martial artist? To reach this realm at such a young age, he truly has a promising future. Unfortunately, against Duong Than's 4th grade strength, he's still a little lacking. After that, both Duong Than and Duong Van were sent flying backward. Duong then immediately powered up some dazzling golden technique and said smugly, Although I don't know who you are, I have no interest in playing around with a little brat like you. As soon as he finished speaking, he created a huge energy sphere and shouted before blasting it straight toward Duong Van. Duong Van pressed both hands together to block it, gritting his teeth in pain. Truong Vu's jaw dropped as he thought. Duong Vin's fourth-grade strength has already reached the level where he can release true energy externally. His true energy turns into a palm wind, expanding the attack range in an instant. I was defeated by that move just now. Duong Van was sent flying quite far back. DM Twin quickly ran over to support him and asked anxiously, Duong Van, are you all right? When Duong then heard that, he asked in shock, hey, what did you just say? Duong Fun. That's right. I am Duong Van. I'm here to collect a debt. Duong then immediately burst into laughter, showing contempt. Collect a debt? Don't talk so shamelessly. Duong Van then said seriously, Officer Dam, this is between me and him. Don't get involved. Your subordinates will be here soon. Leave this place with them as quickly as possible. Hearing that, Truong Vu grimaced and said, what? Am I just a burden? At the same time, he thought, I know I'm no match for Duong Van, but what does he mean by saying that? Hey, miss, can you do me a favor? Suddenly, Duong Van shot forward like a rocket. He launched many extremely powerful punches at Duong Van. Duong then nimbly dodged them all with ease. At the same time, he said smugly, Duong Van, where are you even aiming? It's my turn now. As soon as he finished speaking, he countered with a barrage of consecutive punches. Duong Van also dodged while crossing both hands to block. He was thinking to himself, after using the heavenly awakening art, the true energy in my body is extremely chaotic. I can only use a small amount of true energy, and it's very difficult to control. Suddenly, Duong then powered up an extremely terrifying technique and glared fiercely. Although I don't know why you turned into this state, your current strength is only 5th grade, and you still fantasize about defeating me? You're truly hopelessly stupid. You're dead. At that moment, an enormous golden palm rushed toward Duong Van, then slammed into the ground, leaving a deep imprint. Amid the smoke, Duong then said smugly, he's dead. How disappointing. Unexpectedly, Duong Van relied on the protagonist's immortal passive ability and was somehow completely fine. At that moment, a deep purple divine power radiated around him, looking unbelievably impressive. He said coolly, dead? Those words should be for you right now. Hearing that, Duong then cursed bitterly in his heart. Damn it, he really is a cockroach that won't die no matter how many times you hit him. This is infuriating. On the other side, Truong Vu said, I've truly had my horizons broadened. This ally of yours was at such a disadvantage just now only because he couldn't use true energy. Hearing the words true energy, DM Twin was completely confused and had no idea what it was. Truong Vu looked over and thought, true energy exists around the body. Right now, his strength is the true strength of 5th grade. After that, one slash caused a tree to collapse. Duong then suddenly moved behind Duong Van and said, I have to admit, your current skill can be considered the peak of 5th grade. But once strength reaches the level we are at, the difference of 1 grade is like the gap between heaven and earth. Duong Van turned around and threw a punch. Duong then raised his hand and blocked it with extreme ease. At the same time, he laughed with amusement. Your breathing is starting to become chaotic. Looks like you have no way to maintain this state for too long, do you? Without another word, Duong Van unleashed a chain of punches at him. Duong then still stood in place, raising his hands to block them with an extremely smug expression. Looks like you still don't understand the gap between us. In this world, some people are born with everything. They receive the best education. Whatever they want, they can obtain with a casual reach. Once they're tired of playing with it, they throw it away. Even if they throw those people away with the trash, it's still better than letting someone else dirty them. And there are far more people who come into this world with nothing, struggling bitterly to earn money and survive for the sake of tiny things. Even if they barely obtain what they desire, they can never fully possess it. Before they can even grasp it tightly, it may already slip from their hands. What do you think the reason is? It's because in this world, people are divided into high and low from birth. The noble deserve to possess everything. The lowly should be oppressed like slaves. And obviously, I am one of the noble, while you are merely a pitiful, low-born wretch trampled under my heel. At that moment, Duong Van rushed forward, intending to attack. Suddenly, Duong then used his other hand to peer straight through Duong Van's chest. Duong Van spat blood in pain. Seeing this, Duong then smiled with satisfaction in his heart. DM Twin panicked and tried to rush over, but Truong Vu stopped her and said, What are you doing? Do you want us all to die? After that, Duong then laughed loudly in delight. You will always be trash. The expression on your face right now really makes it impossible to stop. Suddenly, Duong Van grabbed his hand and glared at him. What noble and lowly nonsense! I didn't come here to listen to your garbage. Duong then was utterly shocked and cried out, What? Why aren't you dead yet? Could it be that you used true energy to shift the position of your internal organs? I came here only to collect a debt. Duong Van tried to pull his hand out, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't. Why? He's actually using this method to bind my body. Suddenly, Duong Van let out a deafening roar. You bastard! Then he wildly punched Duong Van's body. Seeing this, Duong then was terrified and thought, his true energy has been draining wildly this whole time. As long as I can avoid him, he'll definitely die from overexertion. I only need to use true energy to defend. Then he released a purple body-protecting energy around himself. Seeing that, Truong Vu said, Is it my imagination? Why do I feel like something is covering their bodies? Is that body-protecting energy? Duong Van's strength has already reached the peak of 4th grade. He's only one step away from breaking through to 3rd grade. Normally, true energy surrounding the body can't be seen with the naked eye. But if true energy reaches a certain level, it can nearly materialize, forming an unbreakable protective layer of energy. Duong then said smugly, to break through this layer of protective energy, one would need at least 3rd grade strength. And right now, you're nothing but a lamp that has run out of oil. So the winner is still me. Duong Van's face darkened as he said, The debt for 6th senior brother. You must repay it. As soon as he finished speaking, Duong Van powered up an unbelievably terrifying punch and smashed it straight into Duong Van's face. Duong then was instantly sent flying back hundreds of meters. His face had also caved in, leaving a huge dent. Duong Van then stared at Duong Van, who lay sprawled on the ground, dead with his eyes still open. Duong Van suddenly thought of his senior brother. The memories of his eldest senior brother, who had been like a real older brother to him, and all the things they had experienced since Duong Van was little, filled his heart with unbearable sorrow. Suddenly, Duong Van collapsed to the ground from extreme exhaustion. DM Twin immediately ran over to support him. She cried out anxiously, Duong Van, are you all right? You're this badly injured? Nothing must happen to you. At that moment, Truong Vu spoke up. Don't worry, he's even more formidable than I imagined. This kid forcibly shifted his heart and the blood vessels throughout his body, avoiding a fatal injury. After that, he gathered true energy into his arm so it wouldn't dissipate and punched through Duong Van's protective energy. Before losing consciousness, he forcibly sealed the 8 meridians throughout his body, stopping the wound in his chest from bleeding. Although his true energy has always been insufficient, I can guarantee that his realm is definitely above 3rd grade. Excellent. Duong Fun. When I heard you call that name, I had some doubts. Now it seems he really is that Duong Van. DM Twin asked in shock, Who exactly are you? Hey, no need to be so wary. I've already used up all my true energy. Even if I wanted to attack him, I wouldn't dare do it in front of you. After all, before he could finish speaking, someone suddenly walked over and said, Oh, Duong then peak 4th grade, lost too. No, he died? Looks like I missed a good show. When they turned to look, they discovered a dangerous-looking black-haired man carrying the young policeman in his hand. The young man shouted in terror, Save me, please save me. Big brother, I already led the way for you. Please let me go. Fine, all right, you said it yourself. Then he let go of the young policeman, who fell straight down from a tall tree to the ground. The young policeman immediately fell unconscious on the ground. The man in black then asked, Did you people do this? Or should I say, was it that unconscious person over there, little brother Duong Van, who did it? Hearing that, DM Twin thought to herself, this guy feels incredibly dangerous. And besides, he recognized Duong Van at a glance. In the blink of an eye, he appeared behind DM Twin. He was holding Duong Van in his hand as he said, If he killed someone from the Judgment Council, then even if I don't want to interfere, I should at least make a show of it, right? Ha ha ha. So this is the after effect of the Heavenly Awakening art? How interesting. DM Twin's face turned pale as she thought, so fast. I didn't see how he did it at all, and Duong Van is already in his hands. The man in black then turned and asked, Did you also participate in killing Duong then? According to the rules, I can kill all of you. Hearing that, Truong Vu realized something and gritted his teeth. Those rules. Could he be a member of the Judgment Council? Damn it. Right now, even if I reveal my identity, I'll only be attacked. Truong Vu immediately flashed over to DM Twin and said, Don't be afraid. Do as I say. Chuangvu was also thinking. The cultivation method I practice has a move called using another person as a frame. It can divide my true energy and give it to someone else, raising their strength. But this move needs time to prepare and isn't suited for combat. Fortunately, I had already prepared it earlier to deal with Duong Van. I'll transfer true energy to her, allowing her to gain the strength of a 4th-grade ancient martial artist for a short time. Although it's very possible she'll only have 8th-grade strength. Still, if she can hold off the enemy for even a moment, that'll be good enough. After that, Chuangvu immediately got to work. In an instant, DM Twin seemed to have successfully activated a cheat. A fierce and powerful aura surged around her as she shouted, "Let Duong Van go now." Seeing that, the man in black was slightly taken aback. Whoa, this feeling. You're an ancient martial artist too? And a 4th-grade martial artist at that. Why couldn't I tell before? Chuangvu also threatened him. We don't want to fight you either. I advise you to leave quickly. DM Twin's power grew increasingly terrifying. In her heart, she thought, although I did as that man said, can I really stop this person? At that moment, the man in black said with an air of nonchalance, one may lose his head, but his hair must never be messed up. Seeing an opportunity, DM Twin charged forward as fast as lightning, thinking, now, I have to hurry and save Duong Van. Seeing that, the man in black remained calm and said, how boring. The thing I hate most is hurting girls. Since you want Duong Van so badly, I'll leave him to you. At that moment, both DM Twin and Truong Vu were shocked and could hardly believe it. The man in black moved to a nearby position and said, little sister, when Duong Van wakes up, help me tell him this. The Judgment Council's Vanguard team has its eyes on him now. Goodbye. After he left, Truongvu finally let out a sigh of relief. Good. He disappeared. He finally left. Thank you for just now. Suddenly, Truongvu collapsed to the ground, completely drained of strength. DM Twin immediately asked in panic, hey, what happened to you? Truongvu lay on the ground with a pained expression and thought to himself, damn it, I forcibly used true energy again after suffering internal injuries. In the end, even I couldn't hold on anymore. How embarrassing. After that, the remaining young policeman ran over and said, Sister DM, I'm here to save you. What should we do next? Do you even need to ask? Of course, we take them to the hospital. The scene shifted to the next day at the Lam Family Hospital. DM Twin was sitting and chatting with Miss Lam Van Tien by the river. Lam Tien said, DM Twin, I truly don't know how I should thank you. It's nothing. I should also thank Miss Lam for providing us with food and lodging and for conveniently finding a doctor to help us. Luckily, because of you, Duong Van and that older brother didn't die on the way to the hospital. Van Tien widened her eyes and replied, I really didn't expect the person who saved me to be Duong Van. But why did he turn into this state? I'm not sure either. I heard from my subordinate that he had been with a girl before that. I originally wanted to find her and ask, but it seems that little girl was very afraid of seeing me. So she left before meeting me. Although Duong then was guilty of monstrous crimes, Duong Van shouldn't have killed him directly like that. It would still have been best to let the law punish him. Hearing that, Van Tien frowned and asked, oh, could it be that you want to arrest Duong Van? No, how could that be? After seeing that scene, even I wanted to kill Duong then. Even though the girls who were previously captured have all been rescued, the hatred in my heart still hasn't lessened at all. I just still can't quite accept it. Van Tien added, I think there are some things we should try to see more openly. Although I feel the television version is seeing things a little too openly. I actually magnanimously told that girl that Duong Van is recuperating here. Seeing the way he looks now, what kind of expression will she have when she's overwhelmed by the feeling of nearly losing the most important person to her? How will she react? As a fellow woman, I truly understand that very well. At that moment, Lai Tuk tightly held Duong Van's hand, tears welling in her eyes as she said sorrowfully, Duong Van, although everyone is always joking around normally, the fact that you never denied it made me very happy. I don't really know why I felt so happy, but thinking back on it now, I really had fallen for you. If I could have one more chance, I wouldn't hide my feelings anymore. Duong Van heard every word Lai Tuk said, and with tears in his eyes, he thought to himself, did I miss the best chance to wake up? Actually, this all started after I killed that guy Duong then and fell unconscious. After that, I woke up in a familiar place. This photo, she still kept it? And the layout of this room hasn't changed at all from before. I should confirm my physical condition first. Inside the bodies of ancient martial artists with sufficient aptitude to cultivate true energy there is always an inner circuit, with the energy core as its foundation and the meridians as its branches. Only then can true energy flow continuously through the body. The internal arts cultivated and recorded by ancient martial artists all use cultivation methods to continuously activate the energy core, using true energy to open the meridians, ultimately forming the inner circuit. Since ancient times, there have been many ancient martial artists, and every person's energy core is different. That is why it is said that different people cultivate different arts. Back then, because I forcibly changed the position of my heart, sternum, and blood vessels, it was impossible to avoid fatal injuries. But I never expected that after forcibly altering my tendons and bones, my inner circuit would actually undergo a change. Other ancient martial artists' inner circuits only have 38 points, and before I was injured, I only had 72. But now, why are there 73? In the past, I never understood why, no matter how I trained, the 5th level of the Heavenly Awakening art made no progress. It was completely different from the energy core of a human inner circuit. Could it be that to cultivate the 5th level, one must use true energy to alter the tendons and bones and create a new energy point? Damn, just thinking about it hurts like hell. But as long as I can get through this 5th level, I can return to my former appearance. And so, being as overconfident as I am, I began using the little true energy I had left to try to break through the Heavenly Awakening art. After that, I finally understood what it meant to be in so much pain you couldn't even scream. At this moment, Duong Van lay on the bed, panting and covered in cold sweat as he sighed. Holy crap, I thought I was about to die. But in the end, I gathered the 3 energy points required for the 5th level of the Heavenly Awakening art. There's only one step left. As long as I can activate these 3 acupoints and combine them with the true energy entering my inner circuit, it'll work. Then he acted immediately. Duong Van let out an incredibly painful roar. At the same time, he released a surge of energy that blew up the skirt of a blue-haired maid standing outside. Blushing, she cried out too, "Ah, so annoying. Why did such a strong wind suddenly appear?" The young lady instructed me that I absolutely must take good care of this young master, and that nothing must go wrong. Goodness, this young master really is sleeping deeply. Duong Van, meanwhile, thought to himself, I didn't even know whether I succeeded or not before I passed out. Now Lai Tuk has suddenly confessed to me like this. What should I do? Wait, I absolutely have to wait. At this moment, Lai Tuk suddenly realized something and said, "Oh no, why is Duong Van's hand so hot? Doctor, hurry over here." Then she anxiously ran outside. Duong Van suddenly sat up on this side and muttered inwardly, "You don't need to get that worked up. I'm Fine. Oh no, I don't have the strength to speak. I can't control my body anymore either." Lai Tuk then returned and saw Duong Van staring straight at her, and then, for some completely inexplicable reason, he pressed her down onto the floor. "The feet Li Tuk scream, Duong Van, what's wrong with you?" Outside, the young man Bat-Ca walked along while talking to himself. "I'm so jealous of Brother Duong. He has such a beautiful wife, and he knows so many beauties too. Most importantly, they're all really rich. Why is there such a huge gap between people? But then again, is my feeling wrong? Why does Brother Duong seem so small? Damn, what was that sound?" The young man immediately opened the door in a panic and went inside. Sister-in-law, what happened? Inside was the sight of our Duong Van pressing down on Lai Tuk, just like a scene from some movie. He was also grimacing as he thought to himself, "Damn it, my body doesn't have a bit of strength, and my throat can't make a sound either. Hey, Wong Bat-Ca, if you have any sense, hurry up and help me up." On this side, the young man rolled his eyes and thought, "Holy crap, Brother Duong is looking at me? I have to interpret this look properly. Based on my experience as his underling over the past dozen hours, this look means..." Seeing the young man Bat-Ca smile, Duong Van thought in satisfaction, Great. This clever kid finally understands." Unexpectedly, the young man slammed the door shut and said, I didn't see anything. Brother Duong, please enjoy yourself." He left Duong Van completely dumbfounded. Bat-Ca walked outside, smugly thinking to himself, "You and sister-in-law just keep going. I'll guard the door for you too. Ha ha ha." At this moment, Duong Van's mouth hung open, his face as dark as the bottom of a pot. "You peanut-brain bastard, did you not see a damn thing? And you're even guarding the door? Holy crap." Outside, the young man Bat-Ca smiled and said, "Haha, This really is a brief separation beating a honeymoon. His injuries haven't even healed yet, but the dry wood is already catching fire. Suddenly, another girl appeared and walked over, saying, "What drywood catching fire are you talking about?" Inside the room, Duong Van was as weak as could be and had no strength left at all, so he thought to himself, "I just want to turn over. How can it be this hard? I'm sorry. I really don't have any strength left. That idiot bat CA. Once I recover, I'm definitely going to beat him up. My true energy is gradually recovering. Looks like in just a little while, I'll be able to stand up by myself." At this moment, Lai Tuk placed her hand on his forehead. She said, "Duong Van, you're all right. That's wonderful. It's truly wonderful." Two streams of tears flowed from Lai Tuk's eyes because she was so happy. Duong Van also touched her cheek and replied, "Don't cry. This time it was my fault. I promise you there won't be a next time. I won't make you shed tears ever again. That is a man's promise." At this moment, Lai Tuk's eyes went wide, and she was extremely flustered. "Huh? That? Duong Van, what you just said, it doesn't mean what I'm thinking, does it?" After hearing that, Duong Van frowned and muttered inwardly, "Damn, she was clearly the one who confessed first, so why does she look so flustered now?" I can finally sit up. Duong Van looked toward the door and saw someone peeking in. He then raised his voice and said, Hey, peeking at other people isn't a good habit." Outside, DM Twin broke out in a cold sweat and sighed. "Crap, we've been discovered. I told you we shouldn't stand here and peek." The other woman said, "And you're still talking? Then why did you raise both hands in agreement when I suggested it?" Lam Van Tan replied in confusion, Right, this is all the fault of this blonde guy." The young man Bat CA was startled and had no idea what was going on. "Damn it, you two, I'm innocent." After that, many screams and strange sounds rang out. Truong Vu, who was sitting in a room reading, heard them and said, "It's this lively, so it looks like Duong Van has woken up." At the same time, at Lai Tuk's home, the young man Kian Nin was there, thinking to himself, "Sister Tuk went to the hospital and only left me here. How am I supposed to take care of an injured person by myself?" Suddenly, the purple-haired Vai Vai appeared behind him. Kian Nin was so startled that he dropped the basin of water. Vai Vai threatened him, "Don't cause trouble. Speak. Who are you and what is this place?" Kian Nin hurriedly replied, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything, big sister. Please spare my life. My name is Kian Nin. I'm a worker at this shop. This restaurant is called Shuck Shuck Eatery, and it belongs to my boss." At this moment, Vai Vai thought to herself, "My head hurts so much. How long has it been since I last took my medicine? I have to hurry back to father's side, or something terrible will happen. This guy seems to be just an ordinary person, but he could also be an accomplice of the person who brought me here. I can't let him go." Vai Vai then struck out with a palm, sending Kian Nin crashing back first into the wall. Kian Nin grimaced in pain and said, Please don't kill me." Suddenly, Vai Vai discovered some kind of letter. Ugh, my head hurts so much. The handwriting on this letter, why does it feel so familiar? Thank you, everyone, for watching my video to the end. If you enjoyed it, please help me out by subscribing to the channel and giving it a like, so I'll have a huge boost of motivation. If you want me to continue this series or work on another one, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much, my beloved viewers. Hee hee.